Yeah! I clicked the wrong button. I don't care. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. Oh, what's going on? I'm your host, as always, Charles. And today, we're talking horror. We're just going to talk horror. We're going to talk horror in general. I don't care. We're going to talk about whatever. We're going to vibe out to this crazy theme song. It's going to be a good time. Whatever it's going to be. I can't focus. Like, I just want to start. I want to go nuts. I want to get up. Now, when I hear that, I just want to start going like I'm at a rave or something. Just start beating the shit out of people. Anyways, what is going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tatum Loves Horror is here. Thanks for being a Killjoy cult member. Greatly appreciate that. Love all the stuff you got in your profile picture. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, Tatum. Oh, you liked and you shared it. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot. Means we can have more fun people come on in and talk crazy horror stuff today. Gandhi's here. What's up, Gandhi? Welcome. Hello, hello. Ethan White. Hey, yo. What up, what up? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, Ethan. Twilight Sparkle Fan 2006 saying, just finished Megan, and all I can say is that Five Nights at Freddy's is in good hands. I agree. I 100% agree. I can't wait. Wish they would take their time on this movie a little more. Kind of feels like they're... Let's get that thing out. Let's push it out crazy right now. Sammyverse, hello, hello, welcome. Legion's here, yo, yo, yo. James is asking some crazy questions here. Damn, it's getting the horny out already. What's up, James? Welcome. J Kemp 07, hello. Screaming it. I can hear you. You don't have to yell, J Kemp. I can hear you. I'm kidding. Welcome. Different intro music. Yeah, it was the theme song. It's the full theme song. I wish I had like a Jimmy Neutron theme song though. What's Bowling for Soup up to these days? That would be awesome. Question, when do you think the Insidious 5 trailer drops? Great question, Affy. Affy? F-A? Affy. I'm going with Affy. I'm sticking with it. If I pronounce it wrong, my bad. I'm an idiot. When do I think the Insidious 5 trailer will drop? I'm guessing probably later this month. It comes out July 7th. So we'll probably get it 3 months in advance would be my guess. So end of this month, early next month would be my guess. Or well, actually, that wouldn't be with Evil Dead Rise. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be with Evil Dead Rise. No. I don't know. Great question. End of this month. I'm saying that. Sticking with it. I'm just excited. I'm excited, man. It's like I love Insidious a little too much. Like, more than you probably should. I like it way too much. I love those movies. They're so ridiculous. They're basically modern day monster movies, and everyone just kind of ropes them in with like the Conjuring movies and all that. And I'm like, but God, there's so much more. They're like, they got monsters and shit in them, dude. Come on, scary monsters. Michael Parton's here. What's up, Michael? Thanks for being a channel member. Appreciate that. Thanks for drinking the Kool-Aid. Appreciate that a whole lot. Cock. I'm sorry. Hi. Hello. I can't. Am I? Kokwe. No. I can't pronounce shit, dude. Don't look at me. Don't look at this idiot. Connie. Okay, there we go. What's up, Connie? How's it going? Evening. Welcome. That is the cutest little fella in your profile picture. What a cute little fella there. Talia, what's going on? Welcome. So excited for Evil Dead Rise on the 21st. Let's go. Go see that movie. It's so good. It's so good. If you want some spoiler-free thoughts too, old Jake made a video about that. I'm sure all 37 of you are like, Jesus Christ, Jake, shut up. We know you saw it already, okay? You say it in every video, and I'm just like, okay, I understand that, but it was really good. That was it was really exciting. Go see it on the 21st, though, or the 20th, or if you can see it earlier, see it. It's a good movie. Part of maybe the best horror franchise out there. It's awesome. Easton Plays is saying, hey, Jake, sorry I don't have the membership anymore. You're all good. Hey, listen, it is not a necessity or nothing like that. I appreciate all your guys' support. It really does mean a lot. Thank you. Means a lot it means a lot that you supported me in general at all at any point. It means a lot, Easton. Don't worry. You have nothing to apologize about, my friend. Thank you for support in general. You're here. You're hanging out with me in this stream. That's support, and I appreciate that. So thank you. Austin Daniels is saying, "Yo, Jake, I'm starting the Evil Dead franchise this weekend. Nice to prepare for Evil Dead Rise. Never seen any of the movies, and I'm hyped. Nice, man. Austin, start from the beginning. Just go through them all. Just go through all 4 of them. If you have time, watch the series. I think it's leaving Netflix. I'm not sure if it's still there or not. But yeah, watch all the movies that's what's important. Like those 4 movies, fantastic. The show's really good too, but like the movies, yeah, must see. Like all 4 of them are must see movies, I think. So yes, check them out. Good stuff. Radley's Vlogs is here. What's up, Radley's Vlogs? Radley, do you do any vlogs? I see it in the chat a lot. I'm just curious. Go ahead and promote. I'm just curious. You know, I haven't asked you. You've come into my house so many times and I haven't even asked you about yourself. How fucking rude of me. Tell me about your vlogs. I want to hear it. Jamie Black is here. What's up? What's up? Dead Soul Social Club. Hey. What up? What up? Need more gay dudes like me in your life, Jake. I have I have some wonderful gay friends. Wonderful friends in general. It's all good. I have wonderful amounts of people in my life of all different kinds of groups of people out there. It's awesome. It's wonderful. RJ is saying, when do you think that Scream 6 will come to Paramount Plus? That's actually a good question. When will it come to Paramount Plus? So I'm pretty sure they're finishing up their whole theatrical run real soon here. So I imagine maybe in like maybe like 2 months, maybe not 2 months, maybe like a month, maybe like give it till like May, sometime in May, late May. The later times of the months. This is when my guesses are. These are where my guesses go to. That's where I'm going to. That's what I'm saying. Lighting Ghost is throwing $5 in there. Lighting Ghost, thank you so much for that support. I appreciate it. Can't believe we are getting Saw X and Five Nights at Freddy's on the same day. Something a lot of people pointed out in my on my video yesterday. I didn't even went right over my head. I'm like, oh no way, man! October is gonna be stacked again. You know, I was kind of worried about this October. I'm like, Saw X, okay, you know, it might be good. I'm rooting for it. I really want it to be good. We got The Exorcist. I got some expectations there. I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be good, but you know, now we got Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm like, okay, October's starting to shape up, maybe to be a better month. I'm excited for it, man. I don't know which one I'm gonna see first. I feel like Five Nights at Freddy's would be good to see. Like if you're doing a double feature that day when it comes out, Five Nights at Freddy's first, Saw X next. I feel like Saw is definitely going to be a little more brutal than Five Nights at Freddy's, and I usually like to end on the darker note. Most people like to watch a horror movie, come home and watch some Adventure Time. I respect it, but I like to have fucking nightmares because I'm completely insane. So, Lighting Ghost, thank you for the $5. I do appreciate it. Yes, let's see him at the same time. See him on the same day, one after the other. Which do we think is better to see first and then following it, essentially? I'm curious what y'all think. We got our boy Shaggy in there, Stu Mocker himself, coming into the FNAF franchise, as I like to call it. Five Nights at Freddy's, FNAF, whatever. I'm excited for it. Legion, what's up? Throwing $5 in there too. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just make Scream 7 in a space ghost face suit. Can insult him in space, and his mask can be his breathing apparatus, like Darth Vader. Darth Vader ghost face. I love it. Yes. Let's do that. That would be hilarious. I mean, you know, it's inevitable. It's inevitable for every franchise to go to space at some point. I mean, I'm hoping they wait until like the 10th entry, you know, but damn. That would be pretty wild though. It's right in the title too. I mean, ghost face, ghost space. Yeah. I mean, it writes itself pretty much. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. As much as some of y'all listening to this right now are like, that's a horrible idea. It's plausible. It could happen. It could happen at some point. Legion, thanks for the $5. Ghost, space, get it into production. Let's see what happens. Jamie Black is correcting me because I'm an idiot, saying Scream 6 is streaming on April 29th. Nice. Hell yeah. Let's go. I'm excited to watch it. I've been thinking about it a lot. Oh, it's actually April 25th. I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about this movie a lot. I really want to see it again. Like I saw it 3 times in theaters. I'm really hyped to just watch it at home again, like just by myself. I don't know. I really want to give it another watch, like at home. I've seen it 3 times with buddies, but now I'm like, okay, I gotta watch it just by myself. I want to analyze this movie even deeper. I feel like I've talked it to death with people. But I'm still excited to just kind of watch it on my own and really start to be like, oh, okay, you know, this scene, whatever, you know, critical shit, whatever. I don't know, man. I'm excited for it. Slasher in Suits is here. What's up, Brian? How's it going? Who is this generation? This must be Gen Z or A that have never seen any of the Evil Dead movies. You know, the only reason I've seen them, though, in all fairness, is because my parents are just as fucked up as I am. So I will say that I know I have a lot of friends. I don't know if Christian is out there or not, hanging out with him this weekend. But my good friend Christian Peralta never really got into horror movies until like way later in life when he was first shown Evil Dead 2013. And then it totally turned him around. He was like, wow, I actually love horror films. And, you know, he just never watched them as a kid. Parents didn't show it to him or whatever. And then he just got into it watching that. It was like, oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And that's actually, I met him the next day after he got into horror movies and we chatted going back and forth. It was great. The new YouTuber, I appreciate. You're amazing. You're more amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Toby Show is here. What's up? How's it hanging, man? Is there a red right hand too? I'll tell you this. I'm writing it. I don't know if we're gonna film it, but what I might end up doing is, and this is something me and Matt and everyone involved, something we've been talking about, is we might do an extended cut of the original Red Right Hand, because to do a whole nother movie, it's just, we would need a bunch of money, and we're working on a bunch of projects. Like, I can't tell you about them yet, but we're working on a bunch of little projects that we're gonna need big old budgets for, and there's just no way we're gonna be able to do something like another fan film at any point in time soon. But to do something where it wouldn't cost a lot of money but add on to what we already have, that I feel like there's room for improvement on Red Right Hand, and I think we can add more to it. I've talked a little bit about how there was an entire plot line that we had to cut with a cop, and I'm like, looking back on it now, I'm like, we could film that pretty easily over the summer if we found some time. So I'm kind of thinking about doing an extended cut of the original, make it a full 90 minutes. I have a whole idea with like a cop character that would add a little bit to it without really changing too much, but I think it would add a little more to the mystique of it. Some people missed some of the little Easter eggs too that we want to expand upon. So like one of the characters is related to Mickey, and I haven't seen a single comment about that. So I'm like, okay, that must have flew under the radar. So we're gonna put a little more of a magnifying glass on some of these different things. But yeah, we're thinking about it. We might have something cooking with that at some point. Legion is throwing $5 out there. Thank you again, Legion. I don't know if I thanked you for being a Killjoy cult member yet, but thank you. Saying, does Evil Dead Rise gore surpass 2013's Evil Dead's gore? I'm so pumped for this new version. Here's what I'll say without spoiling it, Legion. I think that you will be very happy with it. Like, you will be very happy with the gore in Evil Dead Rise. I mean, you know, does any movie surpass the gore in Evil Dead 2013? Like, maybe Terrifier 2, but even then, there's a big question mark, right? You're like, ugh, I don't know, man. Those practical effects are pretty crazy in Terrifier 2. So I don't know, man. I mean, like, it's good. It's really good. Not disappointed in any way. There are some kills that it'll make, if you're an Evil Dead 2 fan, you're gonna cream your pants when you see one of them kills. That's all I'm gonna say, because I can't believe they did it, but they took something from Evil Dead 2 and they made it better. Like, I don't know. I was just like, wow, this is fucking impressive. This is awesome. So it's really scary, has a touch of camp, which is surprising, just like Evil Dead 2, but not as much. Like, not as much as Evil Dead 2, but it has a little bit of that here and there. And you're like, what? This is so funny. I had no idea that they would go this route. But then it's also terrifying at the same time. I love when you can find that in a movie, because so many movies are just straightforward this, and that's it. That's all you're gonna get. But then to have little surprises of other little things here and there, it's like, oh, okay, I like that. It's like when you open up a present and, you know, it looks like a bike, and then you rip it open and it's a big old fucking stereo or some shit. It's a bunch of 4K movies. You're like, I thought this was a bike. Nah, it's movies. Bam. So Legion, you will love it. I don't know if it's nothing surpasses Evil Dead 2013's gore, but I think it's really impressive. Something at the end you're gonna love too. But thank you for the $5. Do appreciate that. Thank you. Jason Carpenter's asking a good question here. Something non-horror movie related. Have you played the new Resident Evil 4 remake? It's off the charts awesome. It's on my radar. Resident Evil is one of my favorite video game franchises ever. I really want to play it. The original Resident Evil 4, I played most of it. I never got through like the entire thing, but I love it. It's that one. Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5 were like my favorites when I was growing up. So I'm really hyped to play this remake. I recently got through the 3 remake and I started the 2 remake, but I just don't have time. I'm working on too much. But at some point I do want to play this, maybe when it isn't $70 when it's a little more in my price range too. That would be nice. But yes, I really do want to play this. I'm super hyped for it. The reviews are ridiculously positive. I'm really excited, man. Really excited for that one, Jason. Good question. Kid in a Mask is saying, what was the most difficult thing to pull off in Red Right Hand? Any kill that murdered your wallet? The head stop murdered my wallet. Oh my God, that was expensive, but it was worth it. It was so worth it. Like that's one of the best shots I've ever pulled off in a movie like that I've been a part of. I was super hyped about that. That was great. I'm really proud of that one. It was pricey, but but it was worth it. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited to add more to that story if I can, if we have the time this summer. No promises, but we do want to do a little extended cut of it, do some polishing on it. We kind of rushed that thing out at the end, and that's not what I wanted from it, and that's just what unfortunately ended up happening. So we want to kind of take some time this summer to kind of polish it up, put some gloss on it and all that, and make it the best it can be. I wanted it to be out for the Scream 6 run, and it was getting some views as Scream 6 came out and all that. So I'm happy with it, like I said, but I think it could be better. So we're gonna go back, see if we can fix some things up. So yeah, that was definitely the hardest one. We only had one take at that too. Like that was the very first take of that head stomp, and we're like, please God, please don't mess this up. And we got it. I gotta hear your signature. Oh, okay. All right. Well, listen, Kyle. Ask and you shall receive, my friend. All right. That's enough of that. I'm gonna burst a vein in my forehead if I keep going there. But there you go, Kyle. You're welcome. Sammyverse is asking, what am I hoping for from Maxine? Do you want Maxine to be evil or stay good? I was talking a little bit about this in my update earlier this week, talking about how I really think that there's a duality between Maxine's character and Pearl. Maxine, it's nothing like it's not that important. It's really not. But I like that Pearl is so delusional and she's so just blinded by her want for fame. She's not thinking about the reality of the situation. And that is the difference I see between Pearl and Maxine. Maxine realizes her situation. Like, she does have that star power. I would even argue that Pearl does too, but she's not in it. She's not like focused. She just thinks it's going to happen for her. She doesn't think she has to put in any of the work. Maxine, I think, does. She does understand that concept. So I think that's why she's a good character, why Pearl is not. And that's going to be the difference. That's why she's so frustrated and killing people in that awesome prequel movie we got last year. Maxine maybe has a different vibe. She's fighting her way out of some bullshit, where Pearl is kind of just digging herself deeper into it, if that makes sense. So that's my guess. That's why I think it would just make for a better story if she was a good character. But at the same time, if Maxine starts slaughtering people too, I mean, I'm not complaining. Mia Goth plays an excellent villain. Not complaining. Not complaining either way. That's just, if I was in charge, that's what I would do. But who am I to go against Ty West, man? Ty fucking West, dude. Jesus, what a guy. Do you think the Insidious The Red Door will flop with Mission Impossible? Ooh, that's actually a good point. What I think is that Insidious will probably do well. Here's the weird thing about the Insidious franchise. Like, the last movie, which most often is cited as like the worst in the franchise, Last Key. I personally disagree with that. I really like that movie. That was the most successful one in the entire franchise. And now they're making another one. A lot of people are super hyped for it. I think it's gonna do good. I think it at least makes 100 million. Honestly, like I know maybe we're kind of past that. Kind of past the whole jump scare movies and all that in society, but I think it'll be kind of a nice return, because the last couple Conjuring movies weren't so hot. I think this one could actually, if it's good, I think people will go see it. Just like Last Key, like I think that movie was actually really good, and maybe even better than like part 2, in my opinion. But if this one is actually good, I think it'll make 100 million at least. Like, what did Last Key made like 115 million or something like that. It's like, this is Insidious 4 and this movie's making a bunch of money. It's crazy. So I think it'll do well. I think it will. Jamie, I have tried to. Jamie's asking. This is a question that is like I don't even know how to answer it. Saying, have you seen Lake Mungo? Independent Australian horror movie. I have tried to watch this movie 3 or 4 times and nothing happens. Like absolutely nothing happens. And I got an hour into it, and it's like they tease some cool stuff happening, but then the plot goes in the direction where none of that actually happened. And it's like I don't know. I was really bored with that movie. I want to get through it one day, but I've tried to watch it 2 or 3 times, I want to say now, and I can't get through it. I don't know. People talk that movie up like it's the best thing ever, and I can't get into it. I want to though. I want to like it. Just like Halloween Ends. I want to like it, but I just don't. Nugget Boy, what's up? What's up, Big Chungus? How's it going? I love the profile picture. With Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey getting a sequel, do you think that Rabbit and Owl are going to be in it or be replaced by Tigger and just have Blink and Miss It cameos? I don't know, man. I think that was the issue with the first one, is they couldn't use some of those characters because Disney still owns the copyrights and all that. But will they just say fuck it and like just go right into it with some of these other characters that maybe Disney still owns? I'm okay with that. Like, honestly, I'm fine with that because I think that would just be really funny if they were like, fuck it, let's see what happens. Let's challenge Disney. You want to get your movie in the news. You want to blow that out of proportion again, just like how it did when it got announced. There you go, man. That's, I mean, piss Disney off. Yeah, I mean, there you go, man. If that's your thing, do it. That's what I say. James is saying it's actually $59.99 on PS5. I don't have a PS5. I wish I was rich like all of you, but I have a PC, and last time I checked, it was like 70-ish bucks. My dad has a PS5, but he doesn't let me play it. Aaron Underwood is saying Terrifier 3 news. I'm gonna get a video out soon on that. I'm gonna get a video out on that. I don't know why I haven't been talking about that. I'm so hyped for that movie, big time. There just hasn't really been any developments. I actually got to speak with Damien Leone at Horror Hound a couple weeks ago, and he kind of gave us a little scoop on it, which I think was interesting, telling us about how he kind of wants to get back to the vibe of All Hallows Eve with this new movie. I thought that was really fascinating. I'm kind of excited for where the next one goes, because if you watch Terrifier 1 versus Terrifier 2, I would argue that Terrifier 2 is maybe even a little sillier than the first one, but that's not a bad thing. Like, it's still really scary and like fucking messed up as hell, you know? So for Terrifier 3 to take it in more of a, you're not laughing at Art, you're terrified of him, taking it down that alleyway, that dark, disgusting, blood-filled alleyway. I'm into it. I'm into it. So I'm gonna do a big video kind of talking about everything we know, kind of video on that at some point soon. So I'm really hyped to get into it. If there's one celebrity you could put in a movie, who would you choose? Oh man, I would absolutely, speaking of Terrifier, I would love to work with Lauren Lavera. Like, I would love to make a slasher movie where she's the lead. I just think she's incredible. Like, every time I watch Terrifier 2, I'm so into it. Like, I'm so invested in not only Art the Clown as a slasher, but her as a final girl. And she does that so well. If it was any other actress, I don't know if it would have worked. And I don't know. It's a hard quality to find in some actors out there. And she has that. She has that X factor to root for her immediately as a final girl. So if I was making a slasher movie, she would be number 1 on my list to star in it, for sure. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Have I seen Tenember? I have wanted to watch this movie. I just keep trying to watch it, and I just never actually sit down and do. I love Argento so much. I've gotten more into him in the past couple of years. Deep Red is by far my favorite thing he's made. So good. Like, such a good movie. If you have not seen that movie and you're like, man, I want to watch some classic slasher movies, but you feel like you've seen all of them, Deep Red. What? That's good old fashioned giallo slasher thing. Watch it. It's a banger. Banger, man. Legion is throwing $10 in there. Legion, I really appreciate that support. Thank you. Saying Red Right Hand can pick up where Danny was driving off and he starts killing in another town, and later he finds out someone in a Ghostface cult is killing his victims in Ghostface outfits. It's funny you say that, because I have about maybe 25 to 30 pages. I can't remember. I haven't looked at it in a while. I have about 25 to 30 pages of a sequel, and it's essentially it follows Danny a little bit. What I'll say, and you're picking up on some things that I want to do. I'm still not sure how to do it because I think with Red Right Hand, what was so cool is it's a precursor to Scream 5. Like there's a lot of things about it that kind of set up elements of Scream 5, which I think is really cool. So I kind of want to do the same thing with Scream 6, where just expanding on things I really liked about that film that didn't feel like were super developed as much. Like in Scream 5, for instance, one of the things that I was just so interested in, something that was just so fascinating to me, was the idea that there's this cult online of people who want to go Ghostface, and they're all talking together in this like Reddit space or whatever. Like that's super creepy to me. We kind of expanded on that a little bit in Red Right Hand, but then with the next one, you know, because of what happens in Scream 6, it seems like that's even bigger than we even know. So now I kind of wanted to build on top of that and see if I could write that into the story somehow. So that was absolutely something along those lines is what I would do for a sequel for sure. But I think what I want to do in like the remaster, like I was talking about, is just do a little more building off of a little more towards some of the other side characters that maybe didn't get as much screen time, or like some people, you know, like Dean's character is Dean Altieri, and some people are like, what? I didn't even know he was a Mickey relative. That's crazy. So I want to expand on that a little more with the side characters. Go a little more into Drew's backstory a bit too. So, but yeah, I mean, you're pretty much picking up what I would want to do. Make it kind of like a road trip slasher kind of thing. So Legion, again, thank you for the $10 though. I do really appreciate it. Ryan is also throwing 10 in there. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate the support. Saying, Scream 7 opening. Ghostface has the core 4 on the line, makes them play a game. Each in different locations, loser dies. So kind of like that scene in The Dark Knight where you get Harvey Dent going, Rachel! Anyways, intense chase. The others try to rescue the unlucky one, like Gail's scene in 6, Scream 3 Parallel. Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, no, I dig that. I mess around with that. I could see that working. I don't know if I'd want to, like, I've heard a lot of people talk about the opening of this movie. It should be somebody from the last movie. Have it be someone, have it be a character from the core 4, or like Gail or Kirby. Have that be an opening kill. But I think that there's a better spot for that personally, because this is going to be an emotional death at this point. We're setting this up to be super emotional, super just like, no, oh my god, I can't believe they killed what's his face. I can't even remember his name, but I'm sad. Like something like that. I don't know if that would work in an opening scene, because you kind of got to get me into it. You know what I mean? You got to get me into the vibe of Scream again, which you got to get a good opening scene for that. You had Samara Weaving get murdered in the opening scene of the last film. That was great. That was awesome. And then they even did some more stuff. But I think it's really important that they had someone who was who was this big star, and you know has worked with Radio Silence before, to get killed in the opening. It's just it's a Scream thing. It's so Scream-esque. You know what I mean? We had Jenna Ortega get attacked in the opening of 5. That makes sense. Jenna Ortega is this big rising star. So for Scream 7, I think me personally, I just want them to keep that the same. It's something that I've always loved about this franchise, that they always have someone super famous get like just eviscerated in the opening scene. That's a really fun thing. But I love this idea of having them play a game. This could be like, I see this being more like a precursor to the third act a little bit. I love this idea of them all having to kind of play a Saw game essentially, but like over the phone, which is pretty sweet. I'm all about that. So yes, Ryan, I dig it. I like your ideas. I like them a lot. Thank you for the $10 though. I appreciate it. If we do a Scream 7 with the same characters, you got to kill some people. Like I think that's bottom line what we're all thinking. We got to kill some people in this next one. I like that they made their feel good movie in 6. I do. It was fun. Next one though, got to kill some people. We got to make some changes. We got to fuck up some shit a little bit. How do you feel about Renfield? Do you think it'll be good? Yeah, I'm really hyped for it, actually. I'm really excited for it. I got to speak with Jenna Cannell from the original Terrifier this past weekend. I had no idea she was in Renfield. I felt like such a fake fan in that moment. I was like, Jen, I didn't even know you're in WandaVision, you're in this, you're in Renfield. I'm like, holy crap, no way. She's like, yeah. She's like, go see Renfield. It's great. It's hilarious. We had a blast filming it. So I'm really hyped for it now that I know more of the people who are in the film. I think it's going to be great. I really feel like just every trailer nowadays is spoiling its respective movie, Renfield now included. First trailer was great. Showed me just enough, but I have seen every death in that movie now after that last trailer. And I'm like, really? Like this come on, guys. Damn. I feel like I've seen every good joke and every good kill in that movie already from the trailer, and I'm just a little sad about that. It's not going to hit as hard when you see that guy get his arms chopped off with the decorative serving platter. And that makes old Jake here a little sad. Jukebox General is saying, I want to see a remake, obviously make it better, of Valentine. The Cupid is such a great villain mask. I really like that movie. Valentine's really fun. I think it's got a really good twist to it, too. If you've never seen Valentine and you're a Scream fan, you'll absolutely love it. Highly recommend. I'd be down for a remake, though. I would be. I think there is things you can improve upon. It's not a perfect movie, but I like it for what it is. It's fun. It's a fun little murder mystery. I don't think it needs a sequel. But it's a good movie to remake. It's a good movie to do the same thing again, but maybe with a different cast. I don't feel that way about most movies, but like Valentine is one of those movies where you could do a sequel, but it would kind of ruin the mystique of the ending of it, you know? For those of you who know the twist, if you know what I'm talking about, those kind of movies I don't think need a continuation. I like when you just have something where it's like, oh, this happened and that's it. That's the end of the story. It's like, oh shit. Oh, fuck, man. That's awesome. Not everything needs to be a franchise. Not everything needs to be a sequel. I like that some things are standalone. Lisa S is saying, rate Skinamarink 1 out of 5 because I don't know if it's worth buying on Prime. Well, you don't have to buy it on Prime if you got Shudder. Just saying. It's on Shudder for free, $6 a month. You get a bunch of stuff. You get a bunch of good stuff too over there. So check it out on Shudder if you want. What I will say about Skinamarink is it's not for everybody. I liked it, but that doesn't mean most other people will like it. It's a very acquired taste kind of movie, I will say. Like, it's kind of the Primus of horror films. Not everyone likes Primus, but some people can really enjoy it. And some people are like, wow, this is really fucking weird, but I dig it. It's got a groove to it. So Skinamarink, yes, it's got a certain groove to it that I like, but it's not for everybody. I remember a lot of people just like trashing on it before I even saw it, and I was like, oh shit, man, I hope this is good. But in my opinion, I think it has 3 of the scariest moments of horror. There's 3 little moments that are just left me petrified. Some of the scariest things I've seen in horror films this year for sure. But that's, once again, not for everybody. But I liked it. Check it out on Shudder. I think that's the best place to watch it personally. Don't pay for it on Prime, you know. Buy a month of Shudder and then you can watch that for, you know, like it's $6. I'm not sponsored, by the way. Not sponsored by Shudder. I just think they're a great streaming service. It's like $6 a month. You can watch a whole bunch of crazy movies that you probably never heard of that are actually really good. Like Demons is on there. No one talks about Demons. Really good movie. Tenebrae, we were just talking about that earlier. A bunch of Argento flicks, bunch of Italian horror. Zombies on there. If you hear me bitching about that movie all the time because I love it so much, that's on there as well. Lots of good stuff up there. And their originals are really good. Yeah, I don't know. Check out Shudder. He ate a rat at the end. Spoilers, Blucka. I'm kidding. Oh, man. Good stuff, man. What's up? Welcome. King Parham, what's going on, man? What do you think about the movie The Pope's Exorcist? Is that out? Like, is that out this weekend or next weekend? Because I do want to see this. You got the guy from Gladiator in there, and whose name is completely slipping my mind at the moment. But it looks good. I'm like, you know, Russell Crowe. Yeah, I like Russell Crowe. He's made some good movies. It's got a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's about what I assumed. Listen, I'm just a little burnt out on Exorcist movies. They all kind of do the same thing, and like some of them are really good. But then you got like Pray for the Devil from last year, which is just same old. It looked like something new and special, but it's the same. I've seen the movie 1,000 times. You know, that's kind of how I feel about The Pope's Exorcist. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna watch it. I'll do a review on it for sure. But yeah, I just kind of feel like it's going to be same old as of right now, but I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. Like, I hope it's genuinely shocking. Yeah, it comes out next weekend, as well as Renfield, as well as like every movie that comes out this month is next month. So it's going to be a weekend, let me tell you. I'm going to be in the theater all next weekend, pretty much. Just next week is going to be all reviews. I'm just telling you that right now. We're going to do some probably updates in the week, and then the whole weekend just review. Oh my God. Speaking of which, I just put out my Mario movie review, and it would just warm my tiny black cold little heart if you guys went on over there and watched it. Please watch that. Please subscribe to the second channel. That would make old Jake here pretty happy. The power of the likes compel you to push it real good. I can't sing the song because I'll get copywritten, but I hope that just in your brain you had that little riff going through your head. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, that's all I can do. That's it. That's it, man. That's it. Spooky Astronauts, I love Spooky Astronauts, said she made a review about the Pope's Exorcist and says it is generic as you would imagine. You know, I wish I was wrong. I wish I was wrong about that, Ty, but yeah. I trust her opinion too. She puts out some really good reviews if you haven't watched her stuff. It's good stuff. Kid in the Mask is saying, could you put on the scary mask and yell, "What's up?" I'm not your monkey, Kid in a Mask. I'm not just a kid in a mask. I'm kidding. Maybe. I'll think about it. You know? I'll genuinely think about it. I would, but like there's so much, like keeping these masks up, there's so much little shit underneath them, and setting it all back up, it's like, oh man. Oh jeez, man. Those masks don't stay up all too easy, let me tell you. They don't. Legion is throwing $5 out there. Thank you so much, Legion. I appreciate that. Jamie screaming while biting the rat in Red Hand reminds me of Ed screaming in Fright Night. I'm so glad people liked that scene. I kind of set it up for a year going into it. We were going to do something else too. I wasn't even going to bite the rat. It was just going to be Jamie like chasing after rats and all that. And I'm like, but like, why would I do that? Why would I do that when I could bite into it? And we kind of swapped gears there. So, but yeah, I'm really glad you guys liked that. That was probably my favorite scene to film. We set that up in like 15 minutes too. Like that was like, it was such a quick shoot and it was so fun. It was just me and my dad. We filmed that, we made that together, and it was a blast. Yeah. Check out Red Right Hand if you haven't seen it yet. Just really fun fan film. We had a blast making it last summer. And hopefully we can do a little extended cut for you guys later on in the year. But no promises. Like I said, we're like, what I will say though is if you're like, Jake, make more movies and shit, we are making just the craziest shit. Like it's kind of an epic. Like it was this little tiny idea I've had since high school. Little tiny idea that bloomed into this like big epic story that I didn't think it would, and you find really surprising weird things in the writing process about how big your story can get, even if it's just something so small like where it starts. So I'm really excited to bring that to you guys here, probably no time soon, but we're going into pre-production next month, and I'm just excited for it. You guys are going to be impressed. I think it'll be our first original. I'm so proud of the script, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's gonna be fun. So hopefully more rats getting the heads bitten off of them in the future. Thanks for the $5 though, Legion. Thank you. Probably a weird question. Bluck, I'll get to that. Horror Den is saying, prob's a weird question to ask, but do you have a favorite crocodile horror? Any classics? Lake Placid, Rogue is probably my favorite out of those. Let me some good animal horror movies. I like Blackwater too, but I think I like Rogue a little better. Okay, to my knowledge, Blackwater is the one that's basically the same thing, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I gotta look. I just want to double check that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I like Blackwater. Solid movie. It's got some killer scenes in it. Rogue is probably my favorite out of those. Lake Placid is so overrated. Like, I don't like that movie at all. Betty White is fantastic in it, but that's where that good stuff starts and ends, in my opinion. I think Rogue is maybe the best CGI crocodile movie, but the best alligator movie. The best alligator movie ever made is Alligator 1980. Look it up. I'll keep talking about it until I die. Such a big surprise. Bought it on a whim. I was like, I've heard good things about this movie. Fuck it. We'll get the 4K. We'll see if it's good or not. It's so good. It's like, what? Why is this so enjoyable? Such a good B movie. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Red Right Hand sequel, rats dressed as Ghostface trying to get revenge. Oh my God. I want to make that movie so bad. I want to make like a Ratatouille style movie where it's the rats and they're like, you killed my cousin Jeffrey. We have to get revenge on Jamie. And then they find out he's dead and it's just a really sad movie about just a really, really dark, somber movie about rats trying to kill a human being. I don't know. That's really funny to me. I don't know why. Oh my God. Damn it, Blucky. You're giving me too many good ideas. Rat Wick. He once killed a man with a block of Swiss cheese. He once killed 7 men with... I love John Wick. John Wick's so good. If you guys haven't seen John Wick 4 yet, I recommend it. I have not seen this deleted scene. I don't know where to watch it, but people keep telling me about this, that there's a deleted scene in Barbarian where the mother bites off the head of a rat and tries to feed it to Justin Longskip. I have not seen it. Where can I find this? Is this on like HBO Max? Like, there's no physical release of Barbarian for some reason, which makes me so sad. Is this like on YouTube or something? Like I've had a few people hit me up about this and nothing. Can't find it. I love that the chat is we're just talking about rats. We're just talking about, just a casual live stream talking about biting the heads off of rats. Totally normal. Totally normal. It's coming out on 4/20 next year. Rat Wick, played by Killjoy Jamie. Oh my God, that'd be so... if we do make another movie and Jamie's alive for some stupid reason, I would love for him to make another Rats in the Blender movie. Just some ridiculous, crazy shit. I personally think the worst horror movie is better than the worst movie in any other genre. Ooh, okay. I'm trying to think, like, what's actually the worst movie I've ever seen. I mean, like, have you ever seen House Shark? That's so bad. That's just an objectively really bad movie, I think. I don't know. It's probably the worst movie I've ever seen, honestly. I guess that's horror. I guess. More parody of it's just a parody of Jaws, but it's long and boring. So I don't know. Your call. Your call on that. But the new YouTuber is saying, "Are you a fan of the AVP films?" Yes. Yeah, I actually really like both of them. I guess that's a hot take. A lot of people don't like Requiem. I understand that. The editing is terrible between the lighting just not being there. It's like, this is really awesome, but I wish I could see it. That's what I'm thinking, like, halfway through that movie. But I really enjoy AVP Requiem because it's basically just a slasher film with xenomorphs and predators, and I'm like, yeah, I could get into this. I don't know. I really like both of them. I think I like the first one more, for sure. It's a really goofy movie too. It's something I noticed on rewatch, but I still like it. I still like both of them. I like almost all of the Alien films. Like, the only ones I don't like the newer ones, like Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I'm just not a fan of those personally. Alien 3, I love the director, but I don't like that movie, man. It's slow and boring. Nothing happens, and then an alien shows up. Save you the time on that one. What else do we got here? They find out Jamie is dead, so they eat his oh my God. It's just takes place at the same time as Red Right Hand. All the rats come up and it's kind of like when Kenny dies in South Park, all the rats come and get him. That's what'll happen to Jamie, and they resurrect him. All the rats fill up his body and like they animate him. What the fuck am I even talking about? Okay. let's answer some more questions here. What do you think the most overrated movie is in the horror genre? That's a really good question. I mean, like, I'm hearing a lot of people just lose their minds over Halloween Ends right now, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't get it. It's crazy it's not overrated because, like, if you look, like, it's a small vocal minority, I think, that really likes that movie. But what does Halloween Ends have on Rotten Tomatoes? That's actually what I'm kind of curious about. 40% critic score, 57% from the audience score. Okay, well, that makes sense. I don't know, man. I can't get into it. Like, I want to like that film so much because I fucking love Halloween and Halloween Kills, the first two. I really do. I enjoy them. I watch them all the time. But I put on Halloween Ends recently. My buddy hilariously got me the Steelbook as like kind of a joke gift. And I was like, I'll put it on, one day. And I can't get into it, man. I don't know. I want to like it so much, but it's just Christine without a car. It's just Christine without a evil car, and I can't get into it. I don't know. But just in general, most overrated horror movies. So like a movie that's typically seen as like, this is a really good movie, but I'm not a big fan of it. Probably the original Hills Have Eyes. I think it's kind of overrated in my opinion. I think the remake kind of does it better, but I'm also just I'm not huge on the remake either. I love Alexander Aja, whatever. Love him, but I don't know. That story just doesn't do it for me personally. It's just a little, it indulges in some really fucked up things, if you catch my drift, that I'm not the biggest fan of. But I don't know. A lot of people love it though. A lot of people love it. What's your favorite psychological horror film? Ooh, favorite psychological horror film. Good question. Good question. What's my favorite? Okay, that's really fucking tough because there's so many good ones. I love Hereditary. Hereditary is definitely up there for for psychological horror films I really like. I like The Shining. I think I feel like it has some things that are a little, like, people look into things about The Shining that are like, oh, this is so genius, and I'm just like, I don't even know why this is in there. This, like, it kind of goes against some of the things that the movie says. I like The Shining, but it's not one that I put on like all the time. I'm trying to think, like, psychological horror films. There's been a lot in the past couple, like maybe past 12 years that have been amazing too. I really like The Babadook. I think that one is just a great representation of grief. If you're into that one, I like that movie. It Follows. It's not really psychological horror, more or less, but kind of. I think it's a little kind of a monster movie, kind of a psychological horror. That's one of my. It Follows is one of my all-time favorites. Like, that is top 10, one of my all-time favorite movies, just in general. The soundtrack's amazing. The characters are amazing. The idea is so original. I love it. Really like that one. Bluck is saying Seven and Silence of the Lambs. I like both of those movies a lot. I just don't frequent them. I don't think Seven is all that rewatchable, but I really like it. Seven's fantastic. Silence of the Lambs, though, I mean, just 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 movie. Really good stuff. High Tension is awesome. Love that one. I got a question, Jake. When your character Jamie broke Drew's leg, how did you guys do that scene? We had a broomstick, which I sawed about halfway through. Like with a power saw, and we put that on like a fake foot and in some jeans. There's a really funny picture I have from that night we filmed all that stuff, when like Maya had to sit there with, because we broke her oh my god, is it her right leg or her left leg? I can't remember now, but whatever her opposite leg was is like there, and then her other leg is there, and then in the middle is the fake leg, so it kind of looks like she has like 3 legs, and it's really funny. I wish I had that picture just offhand because I would show it to you. But yeah, we used the broomstick and then smashed it, and then sound effects from Audio Jungle. Some of you get that joke. Audio Jungle. Anybody who's edited something and needed sound effects for something, I'm sure will be laughing at that joke. But probably not. I'm not that funny. I'm really not. But broomstick, stomped on it, sound effects. Nothing too crazy. I wish some blood had spurted out of the leg. That was something we were talking about, and we were like, I don't know how we could do that without cutting up the jeans, you know? There's no way we're going to be able to break through the jean and blood spray out. You're going to see a broomstick. It's not going to be a leg. It's not going to be as interesting. So the crunch, I think, like, if there's 2 scenes in the movie that are super effective, it's the leg stomp and the head stomp. Lots of stomping. Lots of stomping in Red Right Hand, but I'm really sorry, but this is just a really funny comment. Blame Ratatouille for people dying in Halloween Ends. What? How did Ratatouille? What? Oh my god, that's just, I don't know, that's really funny to me. Legion's throwing $5 out there saying, Jake, there is this Spider-Man comic where he treats people like science experiments and is basically like Jeffrey Dahmer, and he becomes a human-like spider. What the fuck? Spider-Man turned evil villain? God damn. That's messed up. He becomes like a human spider. I've seen pictures of that. I did not know what that was from, where it's like he's got all the limbs and shit. And he's basically like he's basically like Brundlefly from The Fly. I would love to see that. I would love to read that comic book or see a movie of that. Well, you know, I'm watching all these I'm watching all these some of the new movies. I'm trying to review more stuff, like on my second page. You know, we were just talking about the Mario movie and stuff. I put out a review of that today. I watched the D&D movie yesterday. I promise this relates to what you just put out there. I watched the D&D movie yesterday, and it's like, it's a Marvel movie. It has a Marvel plot line. I didn't feel like D&D at all. I don't know, man. I just wasn't impressed by it. And the whole time I'm just thinking, you could have done something so much cooler with this universe. And listen, I'm not a D&D expert. I've played maybe 4 or 5 times in my entire life, but it's really fun, and there's so much you can do with that universe, and they don't do that much. It's Marvel copy and paste storyline in that movie, and it sucks. And I look at things like this, where it's like, there's all these cool ideas in these comic books. Why are we not doing that? Why are we not doing things like this? I would pay so much money to see this movie about Peter Parker losing his fucking mind, transforming people into monstrosities. Like, what? I would pay so much money to see something like that. Think about how much attention the Winnie the Pooh horror movie got. You might have hated it, like a lot of people out in the space did, but it's still exceptional for being so weird and odd. Why? Like, Marvel has not widened their scope at all. They like to pretend they do and do things like Werewolves by Night or Werewolf by Night, whatever the fuck, which is actually really good. But then, like, it's just a little special on their fledgling streaming service that kind of sucks. And it's like, what? Guys, give us movies like that. You know, you're in the movies, you do the same thing every single time, you know? And I'm like, I want to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's like the only Marvel movie I care about at this point. But man, it's like there's ideas like this in the comic books. This is crazy Marvel shit. And we're not doing things like that. And it's a shame. Marvel has this crazy range of different genres. It's not the same thing every single time. And it's a shame that we're not diving into these weirder storylines. Like, the new Flash movie is the Flashpoint story, which is one of my all-time favorite comic book stories, and they have watered that down big time into something that is not even the same story, and it's such a shame. It's like, this would have been so cool if we did it the right way. You know, I don't know, man. They're not adding anything to these stories. They're just like watering it down and making it easier to understand, because Marvel and DC thinks that that their audience is stupid for some reason. I don't know, man. That's how I felt watching the D&D movie. They would tell a joke and then immediately afterwards explain the joke to you in case you missed it. And it's like, what? Like, do y'all think I'm dumb or something? I don't know, man. But Legion, thank you for the $5. I do appreciate it. Hopefully we get a movie about this crazy shit at some point in the future. That would be nice. That would be awesome. Yes, Blucka. That animated, so good. So good. 10 out of 10. So good, man. Craven's here. What's going on, man? We got to stream together soon, man. We got to make that happen. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. I apologize. We were supposed to stream on Wednesday, and I was just like, I am so sorry, dude. I was at the Mario movie, man. Completely shit got crazy this week. Like, I would, like, making yesterday's update, I'm just like a fucking zombie trying to get through that. Man, it's been a tough week, but thankfully I slept good last night, which is why I'm chock full of all this energy. But that's the only reason. We got a crazy weekend ahead of us too. We're finishing up a short film, which hopefully you guys will be able to see soon. So once again, if your appetite has not been wet by anything lately, if you're like, oh man, I wish Jake would make some more shit that isn't just YouTube updates, well, guess what? I got we have one short film completely in the can, finishing up one tomorrow, and then, like I said, we got some other crazy shit coming. So I'm excited for you to see all of it, though. Sin Eater is going to be a lot of fun. It's shot beautifully. I can't wait for you to see it. It's just a fun little short film. And then we also have The Silence of the Dogs, directed by Christian Peralta, and that one's going to be a lot of fun too. I got to play a guy who wears a dog collar for an entire movie, and you'll find out why. It gets real kinky. Oh damn! Both the short films I'm working on are a little kinky, you know, just a little kinky, and it's weird. But yeah, good stuff though. Yeah, it's called The Silence of the Dogs. It's kind of a horror comedy. You'll see. It's not a Silence of the Lambs parody, but it's really interesting. It's a really cool little story. I'm excited for Christian to release that. Last time I talked to him, we had there's a rough draft of it essentially, but he hasn't put the finishing touches on it essentially. The Horror Den is saying, is there any horror franchises you wish had stopped the more it carried on? Every movie since the first leaving you disappointed and whatnot. In my opinion, it would be Saw, Paranormal Activity, and The Purge. Man, I'm trying to think. Honestly, and this is probably a hot take, but Nightmare on Elm Street, man, I'm not a big fan of any of those sequels. I think that the concept for Wes Craven's New Nightmare is awesome, and that's definitely, without a doubt in my mind, the best sequel. But like 3 is commonly cited as like, oh, this one's amazing. This one's like 10 out of 10, and it's a little better than 4 and 5. Like, I'll give you that, but I don't know, just none of those sequels I think live up to the original. Not even New Nightmare, and I like New Nightmare, but it doesn't come close. Like, that original film's so good, and then the rest of them, I don't know. Paranormal Activities and actually all 3 of those franchises, I like this. I almost like one of the sequels better than the original, which is kind of funny. Saw 6, I love Saw 6. I think that's a damn near masterpiece. I mean, the original is always going to be the best because of that twist for sure, but Saw 6 is the one I watch the most, hilariously enough. I really like the story running through the Saw films too, up until you get to Jigsaw. Then I don't know what the fuck's going on in that movie, and then Spiral's kind of its own thing. It's fun for what it is. Paranormal Activity, I really think that they topped the original many times in those sequels, personally. I think like 2, 3, 4, and the marked ones are better than the original film. The more I watch the Paranormal Activity movies, the more I don't like the first one. I think that Mika, whatever his name is, he might be one of the most annoying characters in a horror film I've ever seen. Like, he's just so painfully stupid to watch. It's tough. 2 is a little better in my mind, and then 3 takes it even another step further. 4 is really goofy and dumb, but I really like Catherine Newton, and she kills it in that lead role. And then the marked ones is without a doubt like the best sequel. So I don't know. Paranormal Activity, though, very hit or miss franchise. A lot of people don't like that one. They don't really like that franchise anymore. It was kind of a phase thing, I think, but I like them. They're fun. And The Purge, 2 and 3 are without a doubt, in my mind, better than the first one. I love Ethan Hawke, like, great actor, but that first movie is just a home invasion thriller when there's like a very clear, cooler concept going on in the background of that first movie. And I feel like that doesn't get like actualized, that doesn't get really fleshed out until the second movie. And then the third movie I really like 2 and 3 are badass, but yeah, I'm not crazy about The Purge either, though. I think those movies are middle of the road at best, but 2 and 3 though kind of fuck. They kind of fuck around. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street's probably that franchise for me. That's why I'm like, yeah, remake it. Let's do a remake. Let's do a fucking something new in the Nightmare franchise. Let's try something out in the modern day. I feel like we could fuck around and get something really good out of that, personally. But just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. What do we got here? What do you think of a new Nightmare Scream that is set at a con? I really like that. Someone dressed as Ghostface shows up and attacks the cast from the films, then Skeet is revealed as the killer. Oh, you know what would be really cool, though, if they did something like that, is what if they did like where it's the original cast of the first movie again, but it's somebody else this time that's the killer. They're not the same people as their characters in the movie, and I think that would actually be really fun to play around with. You have the same actors, but they're playing different characters. Like, what if Nevin, Skeet, like, they're dating at the very beginning of that first movie, and they're like, oh, we're in love, and I don't want a PG-13 relationship. I want this to get a hard R rating. Like, what if instead... what if instead, like, they hate each other, like, in this fictional movie? Like, that would be really funny. You know what I mean? Like, they hate each other. Stu and her are, like, really, like, close. Not Stu, Matthew Lillard. Like, play the relationships totally differently, and then you could have someone else show up as the killer. Like, what if Jamie Kennedy is the killer? You know, how fun would that be? Have the whole original cast come back, and it's like, Jamie Kennedy's the killer. You all went on and had successful careers, and I don't know. You know, something like that. That could be really fun, I think. Really, very, very, very meta, but very fun, too. So, or do the exact same thing again, and maybe play into that a bit. You know, have someone kind of talk about, like, well, it's not going to be Skeet. He was the killer in the movie. And then it's like, well, guess what? Guess what? Murder. Murder, murder, murder. At this point, new Nightmare Scream is inevitable, especially after the real-life stalker they had on the Scream 6 set that got arrested. I heard about this, and I left it alone. You know, I'm just like, that shit's fucking crazy, man. I don't even know. Like, man, I want to do like a filming locations video for Scream 6, but like, I'm not gonna go to Montreal when they were filming that shit and get in their face with a camera just for views. Like, I don't know. Some people are such dicks, and it sucks. It really does. Like, let them cook. Let radio silence cook. let the man cook. Come on. Oh man. What else do we got here? Bubba, what's up, Bubba? Saying, imagine an Until Dawn movie. Also, what creature or monster would you want to see in a horror film? I mean, a Wendigo, dude. Speaking of Until Dawn, we need a good Wendigo movie. Don't say Antlers. Antlers was disappointing at best. I don't know, man. It was so boring. Every character was exactly the same. Like, every character was like, I've had this horrible thing happen in my past, and I can't move on from it. Every single character. And I'm just like, man, you can do that with one character. That's great. But every single character is exactly the same in that movie, and there's just no flavor. It's just gray throughout from start to finish. Creature design, killer. We need that Wendigo in another movie. I don't know, man. We need a good Wendigo movie. And Until Dawn, making that into a movie, that'd be pretty sick. I'm here for that. That's kind of a Wendigo, right? Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed what that is in that movie or in that game? But what creature or monster? I mean, listen, you're looking at him right here. You're looking at old fish lips over there. That's my man. That's my boy. We need a Creature from the Black Lagoon remake so bad. We need it so bad. I got the same name as you, bro. Love your channel, bro. Any news on Terrifier 3? Thank you. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jake H. Jakes are Dons. Love it. Any news on Terrifier 3? Like I said, I got a video coming on it. I want to do like a big everything we know about it kind of video, just giving my thoughts. I'm hyped for it. I like I said, I spoke to Damien a couple weeks ago at Horror Hound, and he said he really wants to make Terrifier 3 darker, which I think is interesting. More closer to the vibe of like All Hallows Eve, if you guys have seen that one. Art the Clown is like, he's a little like goofier. He's played for laughs a little more in Terrifier 2, which I love. But what I think is really cool about All Hallows Eve is he's kind of like this looming dark figure throughout this movie, where it's more about the little segments and stuff. It's like an anthology horror film, but Art the Clown is present in all of them somehow. And it's really interesting. It's just really creepy, and it builds up to what happens at the end. If you know, you know. Don't spoil it, because most people haven't seen All Hallows Eve. Most people have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Check out that movie. It's really good. And if you want to have an idea of what the tone of Terrifier 3 is going to be, what they're planning on making it, because the script isn't even written yet, there you go. There you go. Kind of that idea. And I'm actually really hyped for that. I think that's going to be a good approach, because I look at Terrifier 2 and I see that they topped the original film in just about every element. Now, I don't think that they can top Terrifier 2 with 3 unless they make a movie that's like 4 hours long. And 2.5 hours, that was good. Okay, I can do Art the Clown for 2.5 hours, but like 3-4 hours, okay. Let's draw the line there. let's draw the line there. Let's do something else. Is what I say. I think we maximalized that idea of Art the Clown being this goofy, ridiculous slasher that just viciously murders people. We did that. Now let's take it somewhere else. So that kind of seems like that's the case with Terrifier 3. I feel like that's a great approach to the next film, especially with how heightened it's gotten in the past film. It'll be nice to kind of bring it back to its more horror, scary roots. I'm excited for that. I finally got my film accurate Ghostface gown. Nice, Villain Killin' Dylan. Is that what's in your profile picture? Because I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Love it. No one touched fishy except Jake. That's literally me, Lily. That is literally me. What I wouldn't do to make a Creature from the Black Lagoon film. Would love it. Would love it. Daniels 2004 is saying, if there's a horror video game that would be awesome to have a movie adaptation to, what video game would you choose to adapt? I'm going to be honest. I've been saying this for the longest time. Resident Evil has another movie coming out. Who knows if it's going to be good or not? it frustrates me because it would be so easy to turn the Resident Evil games into movies, and nobody has done it right. Like, Johannes Roberts came so close with that last movie. Like, I think he adapted 2 so well. He adapted the second game pretty damn well, but then in the middle of the movie, it turns into 1, and it's like, it's great what it is, but it needed way more. It needed its own movie. We should have just done the plot of, here's what they need to do for a Resident Evil trilogy. It would be 3 movies, make the first one Resident Evil 1, story at the Spencer Mansion, Moonlight Sonata, Jill Sandwich, fucking the Tyrant battle with a ridiculous missile launcher, make that, bam. Second film is the story of 2 and 3, which happened at the same time. Just do that instead of doing 2 and 1 at the same time for some reason. I don't get that. I don't understand why they made that choice. 2 and 3 literally happened at the same time, and they cut out everything from 3 and just put Jill in this movie. It's like, what? What's going on? Just make 2 and 3 the same movie, bam. And then 4, 5, and 6 is kind of like the same story anyways. You can just mix all those plot elements together. Okay, that works. That's fine. I don't know, why that hasn't been done yet is ludicrous to me. Like, that needs to happen, Daniels. Needs to happen. That's my number one thing. I'm like, it would be so easy to make a good Resident Evil film that fans would love. It would be so easy. So easy, man. Would love it. Would love if that happened. Just started writing Terrifier 3. Yeah, he doesn't have a finished script though, is my point. Nothing is in stone. Manny is saying, what do you think the new Fear Street movie will be about? Well, Chloe Okuno's directing it, which has me hyped. I don't know, man. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I just hope it's good. Like, that's the big thing. What I loved about the original Fear Street movies, like all 3 of those, is they, like, every movie kind of approached it like a different type of horror film, which was really nice. We got like 90s style horror in the first one, like early 80s, late 70s style, basically Friday the 13th in the second one. And then like the last one was kind of like the witch or like psychological horror approach. I don't know. I really liked that about Fear Street. So I hope they kind of do the same thing with the next one. Just approach it like how you would some other style of horror, and just make it kind of similar to that, make it your own, modernize it. Of course, don't just make the same movie. I really like the first 2. I really like the first 2. I think the second Fear Street gets a lot of love, but had a lot of little issues about it, but it was still good. The first one's still my favorite. Like, I still really like that one. Gandhi saying, have you seen the show Swarm? I have not, but I hear it's pretty good. I hear it's not great, but I hear it's pretty good. So I'm excited. I'm kind of excited to watch it. It's what's his face? Childish Gambino like worked on that in some capacity, right? If I remember correctly. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Also saying you loved Red Right Hand. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have not watched Malum. I don't know where to watch it. It's not in theaters anywhere by me. Unfortunately, I'm in buttfuck nowhere, Ohio, so there's like just no screenings. I had to drive to like middle of nowhere. Well, I had to drive to Detroit from the middle of nowhere to see the Black Phone early, and like it was just like, oh my god, man, it's like a 3-hour trip from here. So I want to see Malum. I just don't want to drive that long for it. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna drive out that far to see a movie that I know is gonna be good, but I'm no longer doing it for just any movie, because I'm not gonna say what movie, but I drove very far to see a movie recently, and I was unbelievably disappointed. Like, it might be my least favorite horror film of this entire year because it's just fucking nonsense. And I can't believe I drove 2.5 hours to see it, and I didn't even make a video on it. I'm like, I have nothing good to say about this movie. So I can't be doing that all the time. But if something's like really good, I can get an early screener or something. I know it's gonna be good. Franchise continuation, something like that. I'll drive for it. But man, like, sometimes you go and you drive out real far for something, then you're like, this was so disappointing. I can't believe I drove 2.5 hours. Infinity Pool was awesome, Bluckup. That's my favorite film of the year. It's out of all the movies I've seen so far, Infinity Pool is number one, like without a doubt. Is Midsommar worth a watch? Yes. Yes, it is. I watched that movie so many times in 2020 and 2019, like during the pandemic and all that. I'm I probably will not. I don't know if I'll watch it again in my lifetime. I love it, but I've seen it so many times. Like, I've seen that movie 25 or 30 times. Midsommar is a perfect movie to show someone if you're like, my buddy's not really into like indie horror. I'm trying to get him into some like the weirder stuff. Show them Midsommar. I feel like that's a great choice. Midsommar is like, it's really digestible, but it also like deals with some really interesting themes of like losing loved ones, dealing with how different people deal with all of that. I don't know. It's really digestible, but it deals with bigger themes, which is a nice kind of like intro movie to like the weirder indie stuff. So yeah, no, absolutely. I recommend it. Good to watch that one too, as well as Hereditary before Ari Aster's new movie comes out this month, which is Beau is Afraid. So I'm kind of excited for that, but it doesn't like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to feel about it right now because it doesn't look like a horror movie. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I'm staying open-minded. I said the same thing about Midsommar. In all fairness, I did not like the trailer for Midsommar at all. I was like, this looks terrible. And then I saw it and I'm like, this is a 10 out of 10. I really like this movie. So Ari Aster trailers, I don't judge the movie based off of that because I hated the Hereditary trailer. I hated the Midsommar trailer. I love both of those movies though. So can't judge a book by its cover, as they say. You can't judge a movie by its trailer. X is still my favorite horror movie. Love it. X is so good, Legion. Banger from last year. Easy top 5 of 2022. Am I on Letterboxd? I am on Letterboxd. Sometimes I update it. Sometimes. There are plenty of movies I don't log, but hey, yeah, follow me on Letterboxd if you want. If you want to see my trash horror takes, there you go. Someone needs to make a movie where at one point someone decides to mess with the honk and they get the bonk. So a goose horror movie, because I'm all about that. I would love to see a giant fucking goose bite into somebody's neck. I'm going to be honest. Like, nothing would bring me more joy. For a massive kaiju-sized goose losing its fucking mind in a movie. That would be awesome. Didn't Beau is Afraid have a different title? Yeah, it was, what was it called? Disappointments Boulevard was the original title. I think it was just called Beau at one point, like the short film it's based off of, and then now it's just Beau is Afraid. I kind of like, I don't know what I like better. I think Disappointments Boulevard is kind of interesting. Also considering what the movie's about, some of the themes it plays into, I think that would have worked. Beau is Afraid, I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. Once again, I'm not trying to judge the movie yet. I haven't seen it, but it looks like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty with maybe a horror twist to it, and that's why I'm just not like, I'm not hyped about it, but hopefully I'm shocked. Hopefully I'm like, oh my God, this is actually awesome, because that's what I think is going to happen when I see it. But right now I'm just like, man, this looks really weird, but weird is good sometimes. Weird is good. Mindy was talking about you, Jake, on Letterboxd. Yes, she was. I am that dork that after I watch a movie, I just go right on my phone and I'm like, let's write down all my thoughts I have about this. I review movies for a living, so it's like it makes sense. I'm a dork. I get it, okay? God. Fight me, internet. Jeez. Jake, have you seen The Mean One or Children of the Corn yet? I have not seen Children of the Corn because they have not put it on Shudder, even though they said they were going to last month. So I really want to watch it, but I pretty much had the whole movie spoiled for me. I'm going to be honest, I kind of don't care about Children of the Corn, but I'm going to watch it. So what I know about that movie, it seems fucking ridiculous, so I'm actually kind of hyped to watch it. The Mean One I hear is not very good, but I do want to check that one out eventually as well. Both of these movies had screenings on like different ends of the country, just nowhere near me. Once again, I would love to move somewhere where maybe I could get screeners, but Ohio is not that place. My buddy lives out in Boston though, so I'm really thinking about moving out there if I can. But that's a really tough move. Not super easy to go from where everything is cheap Ohio to fucking Boston. So, well, maybe. I would love to do that. I would love to make that move, but got a lot going on here in the Northeast Ohio area for a little while, so probably won't make that move anytime soon, but maybe. Fingers crossed. Can't wait for Evil Dead Rise. I've never been scared watching a trailer. Dude. And you know what? I said this in my non-spoiler review, but that scene in the trailer where you have the mom at the door and she's like, open up now, like, and all that shit. She's like, a big hug and a kiss from you will fix all of this bullshit, or whatever the hell she says. Dude, that is so much scarier in the movie. And like, I never feel that way about shit I see in the trailer. Like, if I see something in the trailer and I see it in the movie, I'm just like, you know, sometimes you hear a joke that was in the trailer and you're just like, okay, I've already heard that. I've heard that a million times seeing movies, you know. But I really like that scene because there's more to it than what you see in the trailer, which is nice. It's a lot. The way they build suspense in that scene is really nice and slow, which is good. But yeah, it's a really good scene. It's one of the most scary scenes in the whole movie. It's awesome. So I'm hyped for you. I'm hyped for you to see it because that's how good it is. Yeah, don't watch any of the new stuff for Evil Dead Rise. Lots of I said that in my video yesterday. I was like, really? You put this in the trailer? Like, there's one shot in that new trailer where I'm just like, I can't fucking believe that's in the trailer. So don't watch the Evil Dead Rise trailers. Don't watch any more of them. Yeah, Blucka, you're kind of spot on, unfortunately. Kind of spot on. I don't know how long the stream is going to be, but come on back. Come on back when you can. I heard that you're doing a breast reduction right now, so good luck. Good luck with that. Villain Killin' Dylan is our local plastic surgeon, which is awesome. So good luck. Thanks for coming into the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Leighton Gamer is saying, hey, I love horror movies more. Scream, I'm doing a Scream fan film. Get eaten, though. Get eaten in the Scream film. Have Ghostface be a cannibal. Fuck it. Why not? Why not have Ghostface be a cannibal? Are there any non-horror actors or actresses that you want to join the horror genre? Ooh, this is a good question. I would love to see some of the people from Always Sunny in a horror film. I think that they would do an excellent job. Like, I know that what's-his-face has done some horror. Glenn Howerton, he was in like what was that super political movie that came out in like 2020? The Hunt. He was in this movie called The Hunt, but I think Glenn Howerton would be great in just another horror film out there. I don't know. Just my hot take. I think he would play like a great, just crazy villain, like Maniac remake or some shit, get him in there. I don't know. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good actor. Charlie Day is excellent too, but he's like a huge movie star. He's in fucking Mario. He's Luigi. He's Luigi Mario. That's his full name. I'd love to see him in something. I'm trying to think actually who else. All those people, like everyone from Always Sunny would be great in a horror film, truly. Anthony Starr, that's who I would cast as Wesker in my Resident Evil movie, like without a doubt. Anthony Starr was born to play Wesker. Like, that man looks like Homelander looks exactly like Wesker. Just put some sunglasses on the guy. Bam. There you go. He needs to play Wesker in a Resident Evil movie. If that doesn't happen, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy if he doesn't get to play Wesker. What's your guiltiest pleasure horror movie wise, or something you are embarrassed to admit you love? This is you want to see the visual representation of my embarrassment of how much I love this movie. Hang on. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. It's not that embarrassing. Where the fuck is this movie? What? LMNOP. Where you at? There you at. There it is. It's hiding from me. This is how much I love this movie. I bought this stupid steelbook. I love this stupid fish movie. And I'm not afraid to show it, Jamie Black. Piranha from 2009 or whatever the fuck is the dumbest movie I've ever seen, but it's so good. Like, I'll watch this movie. I watch this movie once a year, at least, since I've seen it. It scarred me for life when I was a kid. I saw this movie, like, when it came out. I was, like, fucking 10, 11 years old. Way too young. Way too damn young. to see this movie that is full of boobs, blood, and people boning and shit. I don't know. My parents took me to see it. My parents were just like, fuck it, man. they pushed me into that pool of here's all the crazy shit in this world real early on. But I love that movie so much. It's so ridiculous. It's such a guilty pleasure, but it's so fun. The kills in that movie are so good too. Eli Roth is in this movie for some reason too, which I think is really funny. But I went out of my way to get this steelbook because that's how much this movie means to me. I need to stop cussing. You sound like the YouTube algorithm, bro. Stop cussing, Jake. No one's gonna watch. Nobody's gonna watch your live stream because you cuss. I don't know, man. We got 40 people here. They don't give a fuck. Man, I don't know, man. It's just a word. It's just a word, you know. Poop, penis. They're all just words. It's just words, man. Gerald's saying Jake Johnson would be great in horror. So the guy from Jurassic World, like that dude, he's like a comedian, right? I'd be into it. I'd be into some Jake Johnson horror. What else has he done? I don't know that. Oh, this is not the Jake Johnson I was looking for. Movies and TV shows. There we go. He was from New Girl. I remember that show. I watched a little bit of New Girl. That was good. Let's Be Cops is a really fun movie. Tag is phenomenal. I really like Tag. And he's in the Spider-Man, the animated Spider-Man movies. Those are so good. I can't wait for the new one that comes out this year. That's gonna be great. I don't know, man. I'd be into that. I could see him being like a lead or something. He's a little older nowadays though, isn't he? A young Jake Johnson would be great in like a slasher film. I'd imagine. I think he would be awesome in that. But like nowadays, I could see him playing like somebody's. He's like, what is he like? He's way older now, right? I'm sorry. I gotta know, guys. How old? He doesn't look that old. Okay, it's got a little gray. He's 44. He's married to Aaron Payne. Good for him. I don't know who that is. I just another random tidbit about him. Oh, I'm getting the swearing bonk. Dang it. You're grounded, mister. I can't, honestly, I can't believe with how much I swear. I can't believe my videos don't get taken down often. I don't know. I guess I'm lucky. Like some people are like, dude, I can't even get away with a single fuck. And this guy's swearing left and right. I don't know. I guess I'm lucky. I don't know. It's crazy. Best horror movies for new horror fans. I definitely recommend like slashers. Slashers are so much fun to watch. If you're like, I have never watched a horror movie before and I just need something that's like really fun, really goofy, whatnot. Slashers, like 80s slashers, I think are great. Modern slashers are great too. Happy Death Day is a really good, like, if you're gonna show somebody, like, don't, my parents, like I said, my parents pushed me into that pool real quick as a kid. And I think that's why I like some of the weirder stuff, is because it's like part of my childhood, like Piranha. But if you're trying to like coax somebody into liking horror who's like more of, maybe more of a Disney kind of person, that's totally fine. Disney movies are fantastic. But if you're trying to like coax someone into like weirder horror and all that, I recommend things like Scream, Happy Death Day, like 90s horror, I think is a great entry point. Because it's really fun. It's like those movies are really fun. Justin, actually, this is perfect. Scream is like the marijuana of horror movies. That's really funny. But no, but seriously though, I think like really goofy, sillier horror is a great way to establish that love for it, but then get into some of the weirder stuff and some of the scarier shit too. Because like I love all things. Like I love all things in the horror space. We have things like Scream where it's a little goofier, it's a little more fun, but then we have like these darker horror films that are like the most terrifying thing you've ever seen. And sometimes I'm in the mood for that too. And I don't know if I would have loved that if I had gotten into stuff like Scream or some of these other things earlier on. Like this movie, as disgusting as it is, it's really fun. It's just a really fun little movie to like just put on and be like, oh shit, all these teenagers, spring break, it's fucking crazy and all that. But it's like then, they all get fucking murdered at the end. And it's like, holy shit, what? This is insane. so to establish that fun in the franchise is something that most people don't look at it. Like there's a tweet the other day that like kind of, it almost pissed me off a little bit. Some guy was like, I don't understand how people can get into horror films. Like they're just like, it's just the most awful thing you've ever seen. I'll stick with anything else. Horror fans are all messed up in the head. And I'm like, okay, guy must think mayonnaise is spicy, I guess. But listen, my thing about this is like horror films are not just for people who are looking for something awful to watch about people getting ripped apart and all that. That's part of the fun. It's fun. At the end of, like, that's the big thing you want to capture in a horror film. And I feel like when that's missing, I don't typically enjoy it. You gotta have a little bit of fun in there, you know? And I think that's what people, that's the illusion of horror films. Like people like to look at them and just be like, these are for people who like to watch awful and insensitive things. No, it's not. They're fun movies, just like how a fucking Pixar movie is. They are. Fight me, they are. But then you also have the added bit of violence and blood and gore and all of that nonsense because it's fun. It adds to the fun in a different sort of way. So it's fun. It's not about the fire. It's about the art. Ooh, it's about the art. It's about the art. What a dweeb thing to say. I know. I'm such a dweeb. I know, Justin. That sticky icky. Scream is that sticky icky for this franchise. I like in Piranha the Derek from Scream 2's death scene. Yeah, Derek from Scream 2 is in this movie, he's kind of a piece of shit. It's really funny. I recommend, for Scream 2 fans, if you've never seen Piranha, I recommend it just for Jerry O'Connell's performance. It's hilarious. Did I like watching Goosebumps as a kid? Yeah, I did. I liked Goosebumps. I was a Goosebumps kid. I read a lot of Goosebumps. I got into the show later on, but I read a lot of Goosebumps as a kid, and I was like, this is so cool. I love monsters and all this. I didn't realize this was a thing. It's really good stuff. You're doing a Scream fan film. Let's go. Got any thoughts to help me out with? Get some good kills. You know, that's something I think Ghostface could always improve on. Write some good kills for Ghostface, something that hasn't been done. So many times I see Ghostface just stabbing people, and I'm like, we can do more with Ghostface, I think. I really think we can. He's a scary villain, man. I mean, he's got a great look to him, super iconic, but most of his kills are just stabs, you know? And then he has, you know, little things here and there that stand out. You got Ghostface killing people with a garage door, falling off of a ladder. You know, there's standouts for sure, but I think if every kill was standouts like that, how awesome would a Scream movie like that be? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. I love the knife, but, you know, do more with it. We've seen so many knife kills at this point. Find something else if you can do something with that. That would be sick. That's what I recommend doing. I'm just so everyone knows too, I'm going for a little while today. I just feel like it. I'm feeling it. It's been a busy week, but we're streaming. We're streaming today. We're vibing. So if you want to go do something else, come on back. That's all good. We're going to be vibing for a little while today. What is the first horror film you remember watching? First one I remember watching. So Eight-Legged Freaks was the first horror film I watched. My dad showed me that at a young age with David Arquette. I loved it. I was just like, I was so into it because of like giant spiders and all that shit. I just loved giant monsters as a kid. Like me and my dad would watch like a lot of Godzilla movies, which I have yet to rewatch as an adult. Which I really want to because they're just very nostalgic for me. I love just giant monster movies in general. I watch like Creature from the Black Lagoon. A reason I love that so much. I watched it as a kid and I was just like, this is so cool. Oh, I love this. I love this big fish monster. This is awesome. So I loved monsters growing up. That was Eight-Legged Freaks though it's probably the reason I'm so afraid of spiders nowadays. but I love that movie. It's so good. Goosebumps didn't age well as an adult, not as enjoyable at all. It's cheesy and goofy, man. It's I've watched it recently. Yeah, it's definitely hit or miss, but I don't know. I think it's fun. There's some really goofy episodes, but I think it's fun. I don't know. I love that shit, man. Cheese fest. Make it a cheese fest. What's up, Andrew? How's it going? How's it going? Here in Montreal, there was an ice rain. Ooh. Are you going to, I wonder if you're going to some of the Scream 6 filming locations, my friend. If you are, have fun. If you're just visiting Montreal, though, or if you live there, have fun as well. It's a very cool city, I hear. I want to go there. They filmed John Wick 2 there and Scream 6. A lot of good movies were filmed there. So I would love to visit one day. It would be awesome. Good stuff, good stuff. Did you know one of Melissa Barrera's movies stands on Rotten Tomatoes at 100%? No way. I forgot the name, but it came out in 2021. Oh, that's awesome. Good for her. Oh, probably the musical. Probably the musical she was in, which is really good. In the Heights. I recommend that movie. It was kick-ass. It's from, okay, so this has a 94%. 94%. Okay, so maybe not that movie, but Melissa Barrera's in it. It's so good. Written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who also did Hamilton. Love that too. I don't know. I really like everything that he's done personally. So yeah, if that's your thing, not exactly horror conversation, I know, but Alonzo, Cloverfield needs a resurgence. It does, man. And apparently, last we heard from the Cloverfield franchise, there was a new movie in development that specifically was a sequel to the original movie. So like where all the other movies are like kind of in the same universe as how they explain in the third film or whatever the fuck, this movie would have been a direct sequel to the 2009 film. So or was it 2009 or 2007? I can't remember, but late thousands, the found footage one. There you go. The original. So apparently a sequel was happening for that. No update, though. No update on that at all. So hopefully that happens. Hopefully that happens at some point. When I was a child, I wanted to be an astronaut. Then I saw Alien. Ruined it for me. Yeah, I would not want to go into space after watching that fucking movie. Oh my God. Could you imagine going into space and watching Alien? I would be terrified, man. Oh my God, no way. It would already be scary to be in space, but then on top of that, it's like, well, let's watch Alien tonight, guys. What? No. Shin Godzilla was really good. I was really shocked by this movie. I bought it. I liked it so much. Shin Godzilla is like the smartest Godzilla movie I've ever seen. I didn't think that it would. I never thought that they would go that route. I haven't seen all the Godzilla movies. My buddy Andrew Oliver, he is like the biggest fan of Godzilla. Like he knows. He was making a joke to me one time. I was going on this rant about Scream 3 to him about how it's actually a good movie, guys. Trust me. It's good. It's good. It's actually good. Trust me. He's like, you're just like me with Godzilla, man. He's like, you know all this crazy shit. He'll tell you that, like, if you play a track from a random Godzilla movie, he could tell you when and where that played in the movie. It's like, what? That's crazy. There's like 30 of those movies. That's crazy, man. But Shin Godzilla kicks ass, man. I really liked that one. If you like those movies, but you're like, they're not as deep thinking as I'd like, Shin Godzilla is the movie for you. Check it out. I'd watch Gravity over Alien if I were going to space. Gravity was pretty good, man. Gravity was pretty underrated. I forgot about that movie until you brought it up. I went into that thinking it was just going to be generic space movie, and I was like, okay, Gravity. All right. I see you. Gerald saying, would you be interested in a true requel for Scream where only the original happened? I think Blumhouse was going to do this before Spyglass got the rights. I would be down for that, but once again, everything with a purpose. You know what I mean? Like with Halloween, it made sense because we have conflicting timelines. We have a remake timeline. We have 3, which that's just kind of vibing in its own little space. It made sense for Halloween 2018 to just kind of erase all the sequels and then just start fresh. With Scream, if you're going to do that, there's a lot of questions I have. Like if that was announced, if like Scream 7, they announced that's happening, it's going to be a direct continuation, I would have so many questions. I'd be like, okay, but why? Like, why are you doing that? Because I'm into it. I'm down. I see why they would want to do it. It's gotten maybe a little convoluted in some of these movies with some of the lore. So if they want to kind of take it into a fresh place, I'm into it. But once again, I need to see that reason. Why are we doing this fracture in the timeline? Like, is there a good point to be made here? I think a great reason, in my opinion, would be to bring back Stu Macher. Like, so many people want it to happen. Here's the best way to do it right here is just cut that off, make it its own thing. There you go. I'd be into that. Listen, I know I'm not for the whole Stu coming back thing, but if they did this, yeah, like there'd be no reason for me to be against it. Yeah, I'd be super into that. Stu's still alive. They saved him at the end of the movie. You could write that in with a movie like this. Yeah, cool. I'm into it. It would be a little predictable where the ending would go. You know, you'd kind of have to talk about that plot synopsis wise, but I know it would make a lot of people happy. A lot of people would kill to see that movie. Perry is throwing $5 in there. Perry, I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Saying, I watched Critters 2 last night. Super cheesy, but 1 and 2 are dumb fun. I think I like 2 more than 1. I watched these for the first time recently, like very recently, and I thought 2 was like really enjoyable, but 1 is just, it's really weird, man. It's a really bizarre film. I don't know how I feel about it. It's got, it's like on a farm the whole time and all that. It's really played for laughs, much more than I was expecting. But yeah, 2 I feel like gets it a little better, if that makes sense. 2's got a better vibe going on than 1. But like I said, I've only seen both. I've only seen the first 2 once. I know Leonardo DiCaprio is in the 3rd one, if I'm remembering correctly, so I'm actually kind of hyped to watch that. But yeah, dude, I'm glad you enjoyed them though. Super cheesy, but 1 and 2 are dumb fun. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, they are dumb fun. I like it. It's good stuff. I want to watch the rest of the franchise. I know there's like a newer Critters movie too, right? Like maybe it was on like Shudder or something. It's like Critters Attack or something like that. I can't remember. But I'm into it. I'm into it, man. Critters Attack, 2019 film. Yeah, okay. I knew there was a new one. I knew it. 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, well, I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to check it out. Perry, thanks for the $5. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed Critters 1 and 2. Glad you enjoyed it. Please no alternate words. Please no alternate timeline. Scream is not that girl. Don't do what you did to Halloween with Scream. I mean, once again, it's all about execution at the end of the day for me. I just want to see what they do. Whatever they do next, I'm into it. It's just got to be a good concept. If they split timelines, you got to have a reason to do that. You can't just do that because you're like, I don't want to continue this story. If new creatives come in for the next one, I hope they don't just like blast everything out of the water and they're like, we want to make a real Scream 2 this way or whatever. It's like, okay, but like, why? So many of these movies are so good. We don't got to erase them from history. I think that's why they did it with Halloween, because there's like the timelines were just getting crazy. It was almost confusing to a point. So it's like, okay, new timeline, starting a new thing, all that other shit out the window. And it's like, that's fine. That works. That makes sense. It was already convoluted. Let's mess it up. I don't feel like it's gotten that convoluted with Scream. There's definitely an argument. With what happens in 5 and 6, but I would argue they could still continue the story, and it's not really the messiest thing. Excuse me, everybody. My acid reflux is just going nuts, going crazy on me. All right, but what else do we got here? Matthew saying Red Right Hand was the most fun I've had in a long time. The whole family loved it. You a foolie. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you liked it. I'm horrified for your family for watching that movie, but I appreciate it. Words aren't working today. You're absolutely right. The newer ones are bad, I guess. I wouldn't know, but I've heard similar things. I would want to watch past that at some point. Halloween always manages to fumble the ball in every timeline. Like every timeline, there's some kind of like, what? How did this happen? It's a shame. Hey, Justin, we got to keep the hope alive. One day we'll get a timeline where it's like, this is good. This is fantastic. This is sipping on champagne, watching my Halloween timeline. Ugh. I don't know. I'm happy with a lot of the movies though, and I'll take that. Do we, the other thing I asked myself after the Halloween Ends discourse was like, do we really need a big long story about Michael Myers? Can't we just be happy with these little movies here and there that are really good? And I asked myself that question, and the answer was yes. I was like, yeah, I don't need this big long story. It's fine that we have little pocket movies that I can enjoy here and there. So I'll take it. I'll take the good from the franchise as my silver lining. Fuck it. I saw somebody say this before, but what would you think of a Scream killer that's genuinely deranged and being guided by the previous Ghostface killers, telling him to commit these acts? I said ass. Acts. It's hard for me to say. I'm into it. I'm into something like that. Maybe they're just losing it. They're like, I believe in the religion of the Ghostface. I need to make this my own. I just, there's such an easy motive that we haven't done yet. Why can't someone just be fucking out for blood? Why can't someone put on the mask and be like, I just want to kill people, Scarier when there's not a motive. I'll keep saying it. I think that would be fun. Me personally, I'm down for that though. I'm just down for something simple. Let's get back to let's just get back to simplicity with the Scream franchise. I think that's when it was at its best. Like 1 is fantastic. I love that movie so much, and it's a simple little motive that it's like, yeah, okay, this was set up nicely throughout. That's awesome. I kind of want to see that happen with a new movie where it doesn't have all these tie-ins to the past, and where like so many of these movies we've just been like talking about Billy Loomis and Stu Macher, and it's like, everything's going back to the past. This Ghostface is obsessed with the past, and I feel like we had an opportunity in this movie specifically to kind of move past that, make this its own thing. We still kind of did that in Scream 6, and it's a trope at this point. You kind of have to do that. I understand, but man, it would just be really refreshing if we had a Ghostface killer who didn't give a fuck about stab movies and didn't give a fuck about anything in the past. It would just be really refreshing. Can we find a motive that doesn't correlate to one of those two things? I think we can. I think it's very possible. But yeah, I don't think we've quite found that yet. Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll get something really fresh. I haven't seen Scream 6, but I want to know if Jenna Ortega is alive or... I'm not going to tell you that, Gandhi. Go watch it. I can't tell you that. Go watch it. I can't tell you if she lives or not. Go check it out. No spoilers for Gandhi here. No, don't spoil it. Go watch it. It's in theaters. Go check it out. It'll be in theaters all weekend. It's going to be awesome. What's today again? Is it Friday? Is it Thursday? I don't even know what the fuck today is. I don't even know. This whole week has been a blur to me. Gerald is saying, what's with all the Blumhouse hate? They're a staple in the horror genre these days. They brought Halloween and The Exorcist back to theaters. I don't know, Gerald. They're not like consistent. I'm not out here saying Blumhouse is the most consistent producer of horror films or anything. Like, not really. They're hit or miss, but their hits are great. Like when they hit, man. Oh my God. Like Halloween, awesome. Halloween Kills, awesome. What else was awesome? Fucking Megan. Megan was awesome. That was great. Five Nights at Freddy's, I think, is going to be good too. I don't know, man. I don't know why Blumhouse gets so much hate. I think that they have some awesome, really good movies, man. But Blucka's got a point. They have their misses. Black Christmas 2019 that was a whiff. But they have great movies though too. Like I said, they're hit or miss, but I don't think they don't deserve the hate that they get for some of the other things. Like, I think even some of their not as good movies are still a lot of fun. Like Truth or Dare is commonly cited as not a very good movie from them, but it's got its moments. It's got its fun moments. The Snapchat filter thing is a little weird, but it's got its moments. Fantasy Island is admittedly not great. Black Christmas 2019, not so great. Halloween Ends is divisive. A lot of people love it though. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that there's I think that the good outweighs the bad with Blumhouse personally. I think they have a lot of hits that I really love. Get Out. Get Out's another one. Fucking killer movie. Love it. One of my favorites from the 2010s. So I don't know, man. I think they got some good movies though. Some people want 7 to be more simple, but also come for full circle with the entire franchise with endgame style storytelling. Make up your mind, people. I'm not gonna lie, Gerald. I'm in that boat. I'm in that boat if I kind of want both. But here's what I'm feeling with it. I think it can be a simple story that includes all of the characters. It doesn't have to be endgame style storytelling where it's like everyone comes together for this Ghostface, who is the ghostiest Ghostface of them all. It doesn't have to be that. What's so great about Scream is that every movie it's a different killer. It doesn't have to all amount to something. And that's what I want from Scream 7. I want all the characters to come back and be in the situation together. You can write some bullshit to get them all in a cabin or in a vacation land somewhere. I don't care. Get them all together going up against another Ghostface. It doesn't have to be Ghostface to end all Ghostfaces. It doesn't have to be big bad of the Scream universe or anything like that. I just want simple murder mystery with all the characters. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for, Gerald. I don't need the endgame style storytelling. I don't need that. We don't need we don't need Doctor Strange portals opening up and then Sidney Prescott walks out and she's like, I'm here to stop Ghostface. And that's what she sounds like in this movie. Ugh, I'm here to beat the shit out of Ghostface. And she just starts wailing on him. You know, it's just like this 30-minute scene. It's like that scene in They Live where they just keep fighting. It's just that with Sidney Prescott. I don't need that. That's okay. like relax. We don't need that. But I'm down for a movie with everyone coming back though, is what I will say. But it doesn't need to be this big epic thing. Just give me another good murder mystery. That's what I say. Blucka Blucka saying the best thing Scream can do to top the shrine is have a ghost face that kills everyone and gets away with it. I mean, you know, I would be into it. I would be into a really dark Scream film like that, especially with how we left ourselves on a bit of a high note with Scream 6. So if we want to do something, once again, change it up a bit, there you go. How old are you? 16 or 35? 12. 12 specifically. 12 years old. Sydney, Avengers, assemble. God damn, dude. I'd be losing my mind. I would be losing my mind if something like that happened. Like we don't need that in Scream. It's not supposed to be epic. I love epic movies, but we don't need an epic. We don't need that style in. We don't need that in Scream. I don't think. I like Scream how it is, but you know, maybe throw a little bit of darkness into it. Throw a little bit of darkness in there once or twice. Rai is saying, I truly hope our next film has at least 3 of our survivors taken out. I'm right there with you, dude. I really think we need to go darker. We can go darker. We can go darker. We can go, I think we need to kill some people too. Listen, as much as we want to criticize Scream 6, and I get it. Listen, they should have killed more people. I agree with you guys. But the thing about Scream 6 that I appreciated was they built that emotional connection with the core 4. And I know I've said it a million times, but it was really important because I don't know if I would have cared. Like, let's say the opening scene of the movie was Jenna Ortega's character and she gets killed. Like, just hypothetically for 2 seconds. Like, if that would have happened, Jenna Ortega fans would have been upset. I don't know if I would have been upset, though. I would have been like, okay, whatever. You know, she was good in the last one. But now, if that shit happens in 7, I'm going to be like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would have felt that at the beginning of Scream 6. But now that we have this movie, we did a little bit of course correction. I care for them. I care for these characters now. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough situation because I feel like Scream 7 kind of has a bit of an agenda it needs to follow, but it all just depends on what they do. All just depends on what they do with it. If it's good, I'll take it. I need something good. I need something that's a little different from the last one every single time. Or you can't just be giving me the same feel-good movie every single time in a slasher franchise, or I'm going to be like, oh, but what's up there, man? Kill some people, have some of our core 4 die. That's fine. You know, we need to do that now. We've built that emotional relationship. Chad's almost death, I should say, was a bit of a testament to that. I was like, no, man, I can't believe they did that. And I don't know if I would have felt that if this was Scream 5, you know? Like when he gets stabbed in the first movie, I'm just like, okay, you know, whatever. Kind of saw that coming. Knew somebody was going to die there. But then he comes back and you're like, no way, Chad's alive. And then they do the same thing in Scream 6? Yeah, but they did the same thing with Dewey too. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Who cares? It's fine. It's Scream. Scream does this stuff. They do these things because it's fun. That's all right. But the next movie, I do agree, should go darker. I loved what 6 did, but now let's take it down a darker path moving forward. Justin Proper is saying, I'd like to see an epic conclusion to Scream. It's been fun, but we had to end it on a high note. Ghostface lives, Stu comes back, everyone dies, boom. Oh my God. Justin. Stu comes back, kills everyone. He's the lone survivor, walking around with his TV. He's chilling, man. Stu Mocker, man. Jeez. Unpopular opinion, the core 4 are just as good as the OG 3. I'm there. I'm there with you. I'm there with you on that unpopular opinion. I like them. I really like them after this movie. We haven't had as many movies to sit with these characters yet, but I definitely, I'm feeling it. Though if they make another movie with the core 4 and they're killer, then yeah, I would agree. I think we have had some more time to sit with the OG 3, so I'm definitely leaning a little more towards them. But I do really like the core four. I think they're killer, man. The Meeks Martin twins especially stepped it up in this new movie. I liked them in the first, in Scream 5, but I liked them a lot more after Scream 6. Same with the Carpenter sisters, man. I think they're both, all four of them are great. They all bring something to the table. They don't just feel like characters that need to be there. You know what I mean? It's just not like just characters for padding, which is nice. They all bring something to the equation. The new legacy characters of the core four. Love it, Noah. In this house. Little Skinamarink. Little Skinamarink reference there. I like that. Stu could always be reanimated, just like in Reanimator. I would, honestly, nothing would bring me more joy, Sammy, if Jeffrey Combs from Reanimator came out with a vial of green goo and stuck it into somebody's neck in the movie randomly. I don't even know if I could be mad. I'd be like, that's so silly. I love it. That's such a goofy thing. I dig it. Noah is saying, hear me out. Just hear me out on this one. Scream 7 should take place Miami, Florida, where they go to spring break while they're still in college. Will be great. I'm into that. As much as I do want the winter setting to happen at some point, that needs to happen in the Scream franchise. It would just be so cool. This would also be pretty sick, man. Miami, Florida setting, tropical palm trees and all that. That would be awesome. And then you get a ghost face running around. The problem with this, though, is you're a little limited with... Like, listen, some things are, yeah, and Kid in a Mask is already getting to it. Some things are like too much of a stretch. And one of those things would be Ghostface running around in 100-degree heat in that robe, which if you've ever put on a Ghostface robe before, those things are hot. I mean, we had the air conditioning on every single time we filmed in one of those. And it was still just like, oh my God, I'm dying. I was in that thing for like 8 hours during one shoot. And it was just like, I'm sweating buckets, man. I have this picture of me from the night after we filmed Jamie's death, and I am covered in so many different fluids, from Mountain Dew to sweat to fake blood. It was rough. It was a rough shoot, man, but that was the sweatiest I've ever been. So you would have some limitations if you go to Florida, but at the same time, you could do the chase scenes at night or in a building. You know what I mean? It's not like the biggest thing. You really couldn't do anything outside with Ghostface is the big thing, but the daytime scenes, your characters would have to be safe. That would be the one thing about that would be kind of tough to do. Is Infinity Pool a body horror movie? It's Cronenberg, so it has moments of that for sure, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily focused on that. It's definitely a little more psychological horror. It's definitely like if this was a smoothie, if we're making a smoothie out of Infinity Pool, I would say we're throwing mostly psychological horror bananas in there, and then like little tiny 10% of body horror strawberries, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like there is that present in the film, but it's not the focal point. Not like a David Cronenberg movie. Brandon Cronenberg's got his own vibe, which I appreciate. He definitely has that body horror feel that his father has, but it's a little more... it's more of a style choice in different places opposed to the main focal point of the horror. That's the big difference between Brandon and David, I think. David Cronenberg's movies are much more like, they do have that psychological element to them, but it's like the big showcase is like what the special effect is going to be most of the time. Like The Fly, I think, is probably the best example of that. Like at its core, it's definitely a psychological horror film, but what you remember from that is the big fucking Brundlefly monster at the end of it. With Infinity Pool, you have little moments of like, there's something with Mia Goth specifically that's really body horror. Like, I don't want to spoil it for you because it's just so gross and weird. But it's much more about the character relationships and what's going on. And like, there's a specific sci-fi element that is really shocking about Infinity Pool. I don't want to spoil it for you because it's so good. Like, it's the most like, you think it's going to go this, like, you think it's going to just do same old with this style of sci-fi story, but they don't. Like, they take it in a whole new direction, and it's so interesting. I don't know. I never fell in love with I love that movie. Like, it's a 10 out of 10. I love it. It's my favorite horror film of the year. But Infinity Pool is not a good movie to watch before you go on vacation. I watched that movie the day before I left for Florida, and a horrible choice. I mean, like, just a horrible movie to watch before you go on vacation, which is really funny. You're a little Mia Gothed out. I see, Plucka. I don't know. that was my favorite performance from her. Some people said it was a little annoying, but like that was the point. I think if you missed the point of the movie, then I can see being annoyed by that, but that was the vibe, man. That was the vibe. Are you going to write a Resident Evil fan film? I would love to. I would love to. But I don't know. We have so what I will say is I'm working on a lot of little things right now. We have a movie in development. Like I said, we have a full length movie in development right now, which I'm really excited about. I can't talk about it yet. But I also have, like, I'm writing other things right now, writing little other tiny scripts, and one of them may have to do with something Resident Evil. So hopefully that would be, that's something we can do in the future. But, I've just always loved Nemesis. I think Nemesis is one of the coolest villains in anything horror. And it's such a shame that we've never really done that right in the movies. Like, the only Nemesis representation we've gotten in Resident Evil movies is Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is like, it's fine. It's fine. I think the design is awesome in the movie. It's cool, but like, it's just not utilized to its best ability, I don't think. So I'm really hoping that someone does that plot line of Resident Evil 3 a little better in a movie one day. I think it's possible. It's very possible. Nemesis is such a scary, creepy idea for like the best of the tyrants, essentially, is basically what it is. And it's like, oh shit, this is so cool. Maxwell is asking, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully with a bigger YouTube channel. That's hopefully making movies with a bigger YouTube channel. That's my 5-year plan as of right now, is just keep grinding with the horror channels and movie channels. I like my goal for 5 years ago, I had a 5-year plan. And I pretty much exceeded that, which I was really happy with. But now my 5-year plan is get 3 channels really up there and going, get some editors, and start working on movies. Like get some movies sold and out there. So that's kind of my goal right now, is have 3 channels that I'm consistently working on, putting out videos for, and sell a movie. That's my 5-year plan for right now. So hopefully that happens. It's a big ask. It's a big ask, but hopefully. A lot of work to be done. It's not going to be an easy. My 20s are going to be just work, basically, and I'm fine with that. It's worth it. It's the most fun I've ever had. So, Gerald is saying opinions on Lily Sullivan in Evil Dead Rise. I'm seeing mixed opinions on her. I think she's great. I think she's awesome. Lily Sullivan finds a way to not just be the same character from Evil Dead 2013. I remember that was one of my biggest things about the trailer. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, like they're just doing, it's Mia from Evil Dead 2013 again. And the way that they introduce Beth's character in the movie too, it's a little similar, like it is a little similar to Mia from Evil Dead 2013, but it's different enough. They take a different approach with their character, which I appreciate, and I don't want to spoil it because there's something very specific about her character that's different and works really well for that reason. I don't really know what else I can say, but I really liked her. I think she's a great lead. Alyssa Sutherland? Yeah, Alyssa Sutherland is my favorite part of the whole movie, though. I think she is excellent. Like, such a good Deadite. You've seen it. It's in the trailer. Come on. What I won't spoil about the film, though, is what they do with other Deadites in the film, because that's probably the most interesting turn that they take for the franchise, and I really appreciated that. This movie has some balls. Is what I'll say. What else do we? Sounds like a solid plan. I hope so. I hope so, man. I'm heading out soon to the store and gonna listen as I go get lunch. Well, thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening in. Scream 7 Christmas. I'd be into a Christmas set Scream film. That would be fun. I just think, I've seen a lot of people say, like, why don't they do like winter setting in New York? That would be awesome. I'm New Yorked out. I think we did the New York thing in the last movie, and I think we did it pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. Subway scene was awesome. High-rise building chase scene. We had someone fall off of a fucking ladder out of an apartment building. I'm New Yorked out. We did it. We did that thing. Let's do Scream during Christmas time somewhere else. If you're going to do Christmas, though, it's got to be somewhere with snow, but just not New York, man. I'm New Yorked out. You know, I liked it in the last movie, but I'm like, let's move on. Let's do something else. I think maybe it's a little gimmicky. I've had people say like, oh man, just doing another Scream film with a different location, that's so gimmicky. Maybe, but it's really exciting too. Like seeing Scream in New York, it wasn't just a gimmick. There was other things that they could do with this same idea in a different location. There was things in Scream 6 that happened that could never happen in the original Scream in small town USA, essentially. So I would, wherever the setting is next time, I hope they follow that same approach, where it's like we're taking the setting not just for a gimmick, you know, not just to be like Scream, but in the snow, Scream, but in a tropical setting. They're also doing that for a reason. Like it's like a Ghostface chase in the snow in the middle of fucking nowhere is very different than a Ghostface in a house running around chasing someone. There's more things you can do. So I'm hoping they take that same approach with wherever they have the setting of the next movie. You know, they can, I'm not going to be like pissed off or anything if it's at New York again, if it's in New York City again in the next movie, but I think that they should, I think that it's a really cool new element that they threw in there to have New York City play the background of the last movie. What? I still laugh at your sick review and your disdain for Parker. She's better than Julie James. I just don't know, man. I've only seen that movie once and I just could not get behind that character. She is super disrespectful to her friend. She's super mean to the guy for like no fucking reason. She cheated on the dude. I just was not rooting for Parker at all. She's just a vile human being. And then they don't kill her after all this setup of making her like the worst character. I don't think they realized how nasty of a character Parker was, is what I took away from Sick. I was like, I just don't get it. I don't, I don't get why she was the lead character and why she wasn't like, I don't understand what, like, she should have been revealed as the killer, maybe, because it was like, it was in the background, sure, but she was such a jerk. Like, she was a jerk to everybody in that movie. I don't know. I was not a fan of Parker at all. Just not, they really wanted you to root for her, and I don't think they realized how nasty of a character she was. I don't know. I want to like 6 so bad, man, but like the chase scenes were amazing, like 10 out of 10 chase scenes, but the plot is just awful. I could not get into it. Scream 7, 5 years in the future, Tara and Chad get there on one house. Gotcha. One house, Sam and Danny, all of them go to a cabin for Christmas. I was kind of pitching something like this where it's like a single location. They're snowed in. They can't leave. You know, phone signals aren't working for some reason. Whatever. Get them all in one place. Do your typical style murder mystery is my thoughts. I think that would be really cool. I don't know. I'm into it. I'm down for something different and simple for the next movie. I feel like we're getting too big for our britches. We kind of need to start winding down a little bit in the Scream franchise, and that's okay. Not everything has to be the biggest movie I've ever seen in my life, and I'm all right with that. I think in Scream 7 they should try and make the most brutal opening yet. We haven't had a huge shocker in the sense of gore since the original. Well, 6 had the most gore of the franchise, my friend. An entire dude was just meat in the fridge. He was just meat. But I do agree the kill itself, well, like we should see a kill that's really, really gory and disgusting. I do agree with you there. That would be a really good tone setter, I think, for sure. But formula, I say, should be simple. The kills should be outrageous and extreme because we got to keep doing that. We got to keep doing that. Such a high point of 6, I wouldn't want to lose that. I just think story itself should just get just push it down. Come on, getting too crazy. Sammy versus Sane, I think it should go super simple for the 7th entry by being set in the distant apocalyptic future where Stu is simple, perfect. Sammy, perfect. Wouldn't change. No notes. 10 out of 10. Parker sounds like Jill, but if she wasn't a killer and just overly a bitch, pretty much, Aaron, like without a doubt. Like she's just a horrible human being, and this movie is like, you're rooting for her, right? And I'm like, no. I was rooting for the killer in that movie, I gotta be honest. I did not care for Parker at all. She was just an awful human being. Have you ever watched Creep? Wait. Oh, maybe not the Creep you're talking about. Set in the London subway where a deformed killer attacks and stalks a woman locked. No. Ooh, I've seen the 2013 film Creep, which is like the found footage movie, like excellent. Maybe my favorite found footage film ever. Creep though, Creep movie. Let's look this up. Creep movie set in probably 2004 Creep, I'm imagining. Party-loving Kate wakes up in a London tube station to find the place locked up and deserted. With no choice but to stay there until morning, Kate soon finds that some things are much more frightening than being alone. As she heads into the labyrinth of tunnels beneath the city, pursued by an unknown attacker. I'm into it. I like that premise. I'd check it out. I have not seen it, but I'll check it out for sure. Like I said, though, if you have not seen the found footage film with the same name, highly recommend. Both 1 and 2 are really good. What else do we got here? One of the best Scream kill scenes from the TV series with the tractor. Yeah, that's probably the best kill of the entire series, at least that I've seen. For sure, that was fucking awesome. A lot of the kills in the series actually are pretty good. I gotta admit. As much as I trash talk the series a bit, I do appreciate the story of the second season and the kills throughout pretty much the whole thing. I liked it. They did a good job there. Did a pretty good job there. I just want to know if they're going to show the cheerleader in the trampoline scene in Thanksgiving. I hope, Gerald, I hope so, man. That's a staple. It's a staple of that little trailer at this point. Come on. That would hurt. That would hurt so much. That would, ew. Right there, right up there. Damn. Jesus Christ. Anything? Is saying for Terrifier 3, how do you think Art is going to get his body back? I kind of imagine he's got like Deadpool rules to him where he can just grow his body back based off of a severed head. Probably not. But that's a good question, honestly. I feel like we're going to learn a lot more about Art the Clown in this movie, about like kind of his backstory. We hinted at it a little more in Terrifier 2, but I feel like we have some explaining to do in Terrifier 3 because like obviously he's going to have his body back. They're not just going to be carrying a head around the whole movie. I imagine we'll do a similar thing to how we did in Terrifier 2, where the beginning of it kind of takes place right where we left off with Terrifier 1, kind of. So maybe we'll do the same thing here. Maybe we're back at that asylum or whatever right at the beginning of Terrifier 3. That would be really cool. Especially because Chris Jericho is at the end of that movie. And I remember it being like, oh, I can't wait for Chris Jericho to die. This is going to be awesome. But here's something really interesting. There was a picture on Damien Leone's Instagram where it's Chris Jericho and he's in that same costume that he's in Terrifier 3, but he's covered in blood, like drenched in blood from head to toe. And I'm like, what is going on here? Hot take, conspiracy theory. I think they already filmed the beginning of Terrifier 3. I think they already filmed it. I think it's already in the can somehow. And somehow Art has his body back and it's already out there somewhere. They just got to write the rest of the story, where it goes next. Feel like that's my weird conspiracy theory, but I'm like, when did this guy get covered in blood? I don't remember seeing this. I don't remember seeing this at all. You should watch Slasher if you haven't. They just released a few episodes for the new season, and season 3 is absolutely fantastic season of horror. I watched all of season 2, and I just was not impressed. Like, I loved the kills. I just was not really into the characters all that much. Kind of the same way I feel about Scream. Like, it felt like another season of Scream to me. I was like, I really like I like a lot of this, but I'm not digging the characters all that much. Slasher season 2, did not care for the characters all that much. I'll give season 3 a shot, though. I'll give it a shot. That's kind of like American Horror Story is one of those for me. I'm like, I love some of these seasons, and sometimes they get the characters down so well, but then there's other seasons of that show where just there's absolutely nothing going on that I care about, and it's a shame. So I hope that I hope that that show has better characters than some of its other seasons. Man, I could not get into season 2. But I'll check it out. I heard that there was a new season. I think I actually got a notification for it on Shudder. And I saw that and I'm like, oh, okay. You know, it looks cool. Maybe I'll give it a chance. So it's always tough with seasons of television like that. Because it's a commitment. You know what I mean? It's not just a 2-hour movie where you can just put that on and be done with it. Show is like 10 hours. 8, 10, 20 hours. of a season. You know, you never know how long it's going to be. It's a commitment. So I don't start something unless I know I'm going to finish it. So I'm weird with TV that way. I don't know. I haven't, there's not too many shows I've gotten into all that much. It takes a lot for a TV series to impress me. We are doing some B movies for our podcast series. What's a cheesy one you would recommend for us to watch and review? Alligator 1980. Watch it. Killer movie. Nobody talks about it. Great B movie. What's another one? I got a slasher movie recommendation that nobody talks about. Amsterdamned. Not Amsterdam. Amsterdamned. Killer movie. Killer B movie slasher flick from director Dick Moss. Yeah, that's his real name. I recommend it. Amsterdamned has one of the coolest chase scenes I've ever seen in a movie. And it's so long, and I get it. I get why it's long. It's so cool. It's a boat chase scene, and you can't stop. You can't take your eyes off the screen when you're watching it. It's awesome. I've seen the first Hatchet movie, and I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I want to go back and watch them again. I haven't seen the rest of them though. I've only really seen like the first one, so I do want to watch that at some point. I think the beginning of 3 is the end of 2, like the beginning of 2. Yeah, yes, Aaron. That's my theory right now. I feel like 3 is going to pick up right where we left off, which would be cool. The Invisible Man is fire. Love it. Yeah, Lee Winnell's Invisible Man is amazing. Killer movie. Killer. That is like the best way to approach a sequel. Take the concept and just do something different with it. And that's what they did with that movie. It's awesome. Invisible Man 2020, highly recommend. Prom Night, another underrated one. Yeah, Prom Night's really good too, from 1980. I really like the sequel too. It's really goofy, but I love it. It's a lot of fun. Both the Prom Night movies are pretty good. Well, and then there's a remake too, right? Actually, wait, isn't there like a shit ton of Prom Night movies now that I'm thinking about it? Isn't there hang on. Prom Night movie franchise. Let's look this up. Yeah, there's a third one. I'm like, I know there's another one. There's a third one and a fourth one that I've never seen, but Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, pretty good movie. I recommend it. It's fucking crazy. It's a weird, like, it's just a weird concept for a sequel, but I recommend it. It's bizarre. But I've never seen the Prom Night remake. I hear it's not great. Never watched it though. TBH, I'd rather be called Dick Moss than Dick Musk. Dick Musk. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, Night Owl. Dick Musk. Ooh. Yeah, that would not be good. How would I react if I ever met John Carpenter? I'd lose my mind. Oh my God. I like John Carpenter. Just maybe the best movie director, maybe my favorite movie director of all time. I mean, I don't know. I really love his movies. And he's so like laid back, you know, he's not like trying to do anything super crazy with his movies. He's got a blue collar storyline going on. Some townsfolks join together to stop some crazy shit. It's awesome. It's simple. It's effective, and it works most of the time. And most of his movies work for me. You start getting into his 90s stuff and it's a little weirder, but a lot of it's still good. I think Children of the Damned, pretty solid movie, pretty killer movie. Vampires is really weird, but it's good. I enjoy it. Ghosts of Mars. I think Escape from LA is fine. The effects are not great, but it's fine. You know, I don't know. I really put on a John Carpenter movie. I'll probably enjoy it. You know, I'm just like, I really, any of his movies, I'm like, yeah, I fuck with it. I fuck with it, man. None of his movies are like, I could put on anything from John Carpenter and just like sit down and enjoy it. I think that's what I really like about him. Who's John Carpenter? You mean Wes Carpenter. Wes Carpenter. You're right, man. It is Wes Carpenter. My bad. How could I misquote Scream like that? Jeez. In the Mouth of Madness, also great. I really like that movie too. There's not too many movies with Sam Neill that are really excellent. I feel like I've seen a lot of Sam Neill movies where I was just like, what is going on in this movie? But In the Mouth of Madness, I really like. What the fuck? What is I always forget basically the Hellraiser movie that he's in. oh my God, what is that called? Paul W.S. Anderson. What is that movie called? I always forget the name. Event Horizon. Event Horizon. How could I forget Event Horizon? Event Horizon's fantastic too. Very underrated. I don't love Paul W.S. Anderson, but that's without a doubt his best movie. What else has he made? Did he do Mortal Kombat? Oh my God, did he do the Mortal Kombat? He directed the Mortal Kombat movie. I did not know that. I am just finding out this information. What? That's crazy. Crazy shit. But Event Horizon, kind of a banger. Kind of a banger. Not gonna lie. I like it. I'm gonna tell y'all the rules to surviving this situation. Rule number 1, you gotta be quick. Rule number 2, don't fall down. And rule number 3, whatever you do, never look back. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Underrated Belko experiment. The Belko experiment is really brutal. And, you know, I usually like brutal movies. I feel like that movie gets a little too brutal at times. Like, it's like, man, this is like brutal just for brutal's sake. I like when brutal has a little meaning behind it, you know? Where it's like, yeah. Belko experiment's crazy, though, man. It's worth a watch, for sure. It's a weird, crazy movie. I feel like the movie Mayhem from 2018 kind of took that same concept and did it a little better, personally. I recommend that one. Yeah, Mayhem. Oh, look at that, Sammy verse. Same minds. Great minds think alike. I love it. What do you think of the opening sequence of the horror film Ghost Ship? I think it's the best part of the movie. Yeah, that's the best part of that one. I like Ghost Ship, but opening scene's the best part. For sure. What would you want Scream 7's Ghostface to look like? Something I loved about Scream 6 was we had a different looking Ghostface for the first time ever. I hope they play into that a little bit in the future. Do some different, let's do some different masks and shit. You know, why not? We were going to do that for Scream 4 and it never happened. You know, I want to see some different ghost faces running around. Some scarecrow ghost faces, fire ghost faces, ice ghost face. I don't give a shit. Give me a different looking face for old Ghosty. I think it should be setting based too. Like if we're in the snow, give him a white robe. Fuck it. You know, that'd be really creepy. The black robe would look really cool though against the white. I wouldn't want to lose that, but at the same time, a white robe for Ghostface would be really creepy. It'd be really, really fucked up. You can see the blood. You know, you can see the blood stains. I think that'd be sick. I see a lot of people are going for London. A lot of people want it to take place in London. I don't know why. I dig it. You know, I'm into it. I'm into a London set Scream movie. I don't see a reason why. Like, the only reason I can see us going to London is to visit Christina Carpenter at her business meeting that is still taking place. You know, I don't know. The conference has been going on for 2 years. I don't know why we would go to London. I'm into it, but like for vacation, like is London a really good vacation spot? I don't know. You know, maybe I just don't know these things, but I'm into it. I'm down. If there's a good reason to go there, let's see it. Let's see it. I'm not against a London set Scream movie, but I guess I just don't want it to be city setting again. Like with Scream 6, we had a big emphasis on city set Scream movie, and that was awesome. I loved it. But I'm just looking for something a little different in the next movie, I guess. So something, change up a pace from the last film. That's how I'm going to feel about every sequel. Just change up the pace. Don't do the same thing twice. You know, I've seen a lot of movie franchises where they do that, where it's like, here's the same thing again, but like maybe a little different, not really. I'm just like, you gotta really make your sequels stand apart, especially this late in the franchise. Horror Den is saying, how do you feel about The Lazarus Effect? I like The Lazarus Effect. I thought that was a really fun movie. Is it okay? That's the one that's basically just there's another movie that's basically the same thing where they bring themselves back to life after killing, like, I can't say that. Can't say that. Can't say that on YouTube. Oh man. It's basically just the movie where they like stop their heartbeat and then they bring themselves back to life. But the Lazarus Effect kind of plays on that a little bit. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of that movie, but it's good. I like it. It's a really interesting movie. I love the setting of the Lazarus Effect. That's probably like my favorite thing about it. Like the underground like lab and all that shit. It's really cool. Flatliners. Thank you, Blanca. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's kind of a similar concept if I remember it correctly. But it's good. I like it. Finally watched Red Right Hand fan film recently and the short film sometime after and loved them. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. We're maybe working on a little something with it. So little something adding more to it, throwing a little spice on that steak. Oh, my chunky Geordie is throwing some hot takes out there. London is awful. I wouldn't want to see the 7 set there. I live in England. I've been to London once. I will never go back. Ooh, rough. I want to go to London real bad too. I would love to go to a pub. Just think the idea of going to a pub is really cool. But I don't know. I've never been to London. It sounds cool. Sounds like a cool city. I'd go there. Will your version of Red Right Hand ever be on Spotify? Because it is a banger. Thank you. Thank you so much. My dad and my brother recorded that. I'm really proud of it because it's so kick-ass. It's on YouTube for free. So you know, if you want to listen to it, it's on this channel. I should probably make that. If I don't have that playlist already set up somewhere, it's not on the front page. I should change that. So, I'm gonna change that soon though, so that you can, all the Red Right Hand stuff is on the front page. I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of that project and all the music we did for it too. It was a lot of work to do in a year, and I'm really proud of what we did. So, I'm gonna put that on the main page so everyone can kind of listen to some of the tracks we did and shit. It's awesome. Do you remember the theories we had for Scream 5? I remember people thinking that Wes was Dewey's kid. Yeah. It was fun. I remember that was the time period where we knew like nothing about what they were doing. So we were just like kind of shooting in the dark, essentially, like just kind of making crazy guesses. It was a really fun time. Now I feel like there's just some theories you can't do, like I feel like there's some that you can try to make an argument, but it's tough. It's a lot tougher to do something like that. Like Stu coming back at this point, it's not going to happen with this creative team. They made a big statement with that in the last movie. Some people want to really argue about that, but it's like I don't know what to tell you. There's some things that I feel like can't happen now. It was maybe a little more fun to talk about Scream when we were going into Scream 5, but there's still a lot of questions to be had about what the future of the franchise is now. Especially with Scream 7 not being greenlit. We don't know if Radio Silence or the writers are going to be attached to it. It's almost kind of like starting fresh again, moving forward. Like, what's going to happen with Scream 7? Like, I really couldn't tell you. It's a weird time. It's a weird time to be a Scream fan. So, Japan would be a cool setting. Once again, I need a reason to go there. Ghostface chasing people in like Tokyo or something would be really cool. I need a reason. I need a reason. I need a reason to go to Japan. Jake, I got a question for you. If you were in a Scream movie, who will be playing as you? Like if for some reason they decided to cast somebody as a dumb YouTuber who wears flannels and is way too fucking loud. I don't know. Man, I'm trying to think, like, who's that fucking kid from Where the Millers? I'll have him play me. He also has a big forehead, so I'd imagine. There you go. Where the Millers kid? I don't know. It's a weird question. I like it though. I like it. I think Stu is in essence like Randy in a videotape. I'm down for that. Corduroy boy. I like that. VHS Stu or no Stu is what I say. Ghostface versus Batman, the world's greatest detective. I like Detective Batman. Detective Batman's awesome. Oh man, I like that last movie. That was fun. Tokyo Gore Police. I've had this one recommended to me many times, and I've just never sat down and watched it. I hear it's fucking crazy though. I've seen a few of the stills from the movie. It's like the girl with the chainsaw or whatever, and I'm like, girls with chainsaws, man. That's my favorite horror subgenre, so I'm into it. Fear Street 94 and 78 were great. Very Scream and Friday the 13th inspired. I couldn't get into 1666. Yeah, I wasn't huge on 1666 either until the end. I thought the ending really was cool, kind of tying it all together. But yeah, I don't know, beginning of it, I was pretty meh on it. One day I want a Scream Knives Out type installment. That's what I'm saying for the next one, dude. Like, I feel like that's what we should do. Just make it typical murder mystery throwback kind of Scream to make it something really fun. Would it be different? Maybe not in like the conventional sense, but it's something we haven't done in a little while. I just feel like we're getting really big. You know, it's getting really big. We're in New York City. We have like 1,000 characters now. I just think we gotta do a movie that scales it back a little bit, kills some of these main characters, and then makes it a little simple again. I just don't want it to get too big for its britches. I don't want it to turn into Fast and Furious. You know what I mean? I don't. It's we're getting close to that, and I think for the next movie we gotta draw back on some stuff. We gotta kill some characters and move on. Move on to something else. Thomas is saying, would you watch a Scream musical? Yeah. I watched an Evil Dead musical, and it was awesome. The Evil Dead musical is actually fantastic. I actually do recommend it. Some of the songs are actually really good. Thomas Lloyd. It's good stuff. Mesbro Studios is saying, only reason I see them going to Japan is a vacation, but still would be a cool backdrop. I agree. Like, I love the idea of a cool backdrop, but once again, it needs to be purposeful. With Scream 6, for instance, like, everyone wants to say that had a college backdrop, but it did not. It was very much so New York City. Like, pretty much the entire movie, except for that one scene, like, in the park. It's really, like, the only college setting we get. So, I really want them to do something cool with the backdrop, but it's got to have a point to it. It's got to have, like, there's got to be a good reason to go there. Not just, you know, don't just take me to Japan. Like, that's when you get gimmicky, is when you're just like, yeah, let's just throw it. Let's just go international for some reason, you know? It's just, okay, now we're getting gimmicky. Like, imagine if Scream 6 started off and it was like everyone in Woodsboro and they were like packing their bags. We're going to New York City for college. It's going to be great. That would have been so gimmicky and cheesy. I like that we started off right in New York City. We just picked up in their lives where they are now after the events of Scream 5. That was nice. We didn't have to see all that. That would have been like, you're hyping up the New York thing a little too much, you know? It wasn't like shoved down my throat that we're in New York City. It was just the right amount of it. I feel like Scream would go out of country. It is a way to show that there is no escaping Ghostface. I do like that. Like, I do like the international setting, but just give me a reason. Give me a reason to do that. Don't just, we're going cross country now. We're just doing it. We're just gonna have these characters they just won a trip to Japan or something. Like, do something we can do something a little better than that, I think. I hope one day we get a new nightmare type Scream. That way everyone can come back. Drew Barrymore, the opening scene again. That would be so funny, actually. That would be, oh my God, that would be so funny if they're like doing a Scream reunion or something. Drew Barrymore's there and she gets, that's actually that's pretty funny. I'd imagine it would be played for laughs a little more if we did a new nightmare version of Scream. That's my only like drawback to it. You couldn't really make it scary. Like, yep, gotta sneeze. Nope. We're holding it back. Okay, there we go. No one wants to hear sneezing on streams. No one wants to hear that. Okay, but getting back to it. My only thing with New Nightmare is there's like times in that movie where they're trying to be scary and like I just don't think it works. Like it's a much more comical movie. You kind of got to lean into that a little bit. So I would say with a New Nightmare version of Scream, it would have to be a little campy. Like you'd have to basically make it Scream 3, but you know, where the plot actually makes sense. That's my only thing about it. That's what I would want from it. Okay, y'all. Jake's starting to lose his voice, so I think that's where we call it a day. But I do really appreciate y'all hanging out with me for 2.5 hours like this. Pretty crazy. All the love. Appreciate you guys so much. We're not doing a Lethal Collective stream tonight. I see Wayne asking about it. We're basically just doing Monday streams at this point. I'm just gonna be honest, like we're just not getting as many people watching. So it's not as we want it, you know, it's gotta be worth it for us to do it. And we're just not getting as many people in the streams lately. So we're going down, we're tracking it down to 1 a week. Matt's no longer editing for us. It's just not as popular. Some things just don't work out. But I love doing it. I love talking with those guys. So we'll still be streaming on Mondays. So come on over there on Monday for the Lethal Collective stream. It's gonna be a good time. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate talking with all y'all. Have a fun weekend. Stay safe out there. Don't drink too much. Thanks for talking with me, guys. Peace out. Don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.